I endorse Awaken 180, not just because they're a 1010XL client, but because they care about people and you feel it every day. Awaken180weightloss.com. Awaken180weightloss.com.
When you're injured, you need more than legal advice. You need someone who truly cares. I'm Chris Campione, and at Campione Law, I take pride in what we do. You're never just another case. We take the time to listen, guide you through the process, and fight for your recovery every step of the way. And remember, you pay nothing unless we win. Zip, nada, nothing. Learn more at CampioneLaw.com. Offices, Jacksonville and St. Augustine.
Count on Campione, Campione Law.
This is your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update. I'm RJ Saunders for 1010XL. This update brought to you by Southern Oak Insurance. Florida point guard Xavier Lee plans to enter the transfer portal. Lee spent one season with the Gators after transferring from Princeton in 35 games last year. Lee averaged just 11.6 points per game to go along with 3.7 rebounds and 4.2 assists on 42% shooting from the floor. He also knocked in 76.5% from the free throw line. Right now, it's 95 degrees at 2 o'clock. Time and 10 brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah. Now, Lauren Brooks, Taylor Dahl, and Tom McManus. This is
Helmets and Heels.
Helmets and Heels on 1010XL.
We got a joint to discuss. Going to talk all sorts of things like facial tooting and tight ends and all that fun stuff. But we have two things to get to before that. One, we have a legend in our presence.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That is one Tom McManus, who will be honored as the legend of the game this Friday night. Yes, thank you,
go.
RJ.
How about that?
Preseason
A
game
.08er.
against the Panthers.
Yeah, I'm very honored. Obviously, when I got the call, I literally was like, you sure?" He's like, what are you talking about?" I'm like, "I don't know. There's a lot of guys you can choose from, but yeah, it's gonna be a great honor. Hey, I'm starting off 2026, right? So it's going to be
Absolutely.
fun. It's going to be a lot of fun out in the middle of the field. I don't know exactly what to expect. All I know is that I'm either holding a flag or I'm holding a sign that says "We Are" one side and Jaguars the other,
Okay.
something like that, or in between or whatnot. So Killer Bees will be doing the first Duval.
Love
So, honored to be doing that with my teammate. Although we'll be separated. I thought we would be closer together. We won't be close together. He'll be at one side, I'll be at the other.
Something tells me that they knew better than
Yeah, it's
put
too
you two
bad.
together.
We're still going to try to work something out. I think I got to get
I love
a
it.
little creative.
Sure
but
you do.
No, it's a great honor. Listen, I love my team. It's one phone call. Yeah, sure. I'm in, and next thing you know, I'm here 31 years.
Yeah, it really is
It's
unbelievable.
wild.
When you answered
think
the
about
phone,
it
you were like,
that.
"Do you have the right Tom?"
Yeah.
Tom called.
What are you doing? What do you mean, what am I doing?
No,
what are you doing?
Yeah, of course, you're a legend.
You called me for.
But yeah, excited to see you on the field, Aaron Beasley on the field. For people who have been to games before, normally the first Duval is up above,
Yep.
but there's not an up above anymore. We'll find out more about the stadium
Yeah,
logistics
looking
tomorrow.
forward to seeing
Yeah.
inside.
Yeah.
So
Tomorrow
Beasley
they'll-
like hanging from a crane. Just
He'd probably want to, knowing him.
I
He'll run
know
up
that.
the crane is what he would do, and
Yeah.
then hang from it. Yeah.
Exactly. But yeah, tomorrow the Jaguars will take some selected media around the stadium. And then, of course, Friday, fans will get to pour in. And I'm
Yeah.
expecting maybe not starters, but we'll get to that in a second. But the other legendary thing that we have to discuss is the lunch we got today.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Shout out to Chick-fil-A for dropping off their new fall menu items that are coming out right now. I've been talking about that honey pepper pimento chicken sandwich and the peach milkshake. Those are out the door this week. So make sure if you haven't gotten one yet, swing by this week and grab that. But starting next Monday, they have some new menu items coming out, including what they dropped off today, which was their chicken and waffles sandwich. Delicious. They have a couple different versions because they have a breakfast version that is a little smaller than the obviously full sandwich that you would get for lunch and dinner. But their regular size chicken that you would get on each of those sandwiches with a waffle as the bun, bacon on there. It comes with a little side of syrup if you want that. I know some people like spicy with theirs. I am one of those that like the spicy syrup with mine, and so I put some hot sauce in mine, and it was absolutely delicious. So that's one of the menu items coming out on Monday for the fall items. And then they also have a s'mores milkshake, which was also absolutely delicious. Their shakes they do so good with their shakes.
Yeah,
I don't think I've had one of their shakes that I didn't like. So that's another one that it will be starting out on Monday. And then they also now have multiple different new coffee flavors and their own cold brew now. So I was even talking to Eric Gillis this morning, who brought all of the Chick-fil-A stuff. And I told him, I was like, I love Chick-fil-A breakfast, but I had been upset because I would always have to go somewhere and get my coffee and then go get my breakfast from Chick-fil-A. But now they have their own cold brew, multiple flavors with that. So I'm super excited. But yeah, all of that coming out on Monday. And if you'll definitely want to try it because it's delicious. And so you could also get the waffles separately, because I know a lot of kids for breakfast will like, just the kind of pieces of waffles. So if your kid likes those, some extra stuff for breakfast now too.
Perfect. Are there any extra of those coffees lying around?
There might
There's
be.
only a couple of the pouches
the
left.
sandwiches,
I know
they're
that.
gone.
Yeah.
They're completely gone.
Are they totally gone now?
Yeah, when you walked in, there were a few. They
Yeah.
are completely gone.
Wow,
Yeah.
I've only been here like 10 minutes. Like 15.
There's vultures in this building for
Wow.
The moment
sure.
that an email goes out that food
Yeah,
is here,
that's right.
even if people aren't hungry, they go
Yeah.
and collect it for
They
later.
collect
Yeah,
it.
they do. They hoard them.
100%.
That's what for the shake. Just listen how good this sounds. So starts with their ice stream blended with toasted marshmallow and cocoa syrup, along with chocolate covered graham cracker crumbles, and then they have their own, which was specially made for these shakes at Chick-fil-A, a toasted marshmallow whipped cream that goes on top.
Oh, man.
Yeah,
That
it
is-
tasted like you
that's a
were
good dessert
at a
right there,
campfire
though.
eating a
Yeah.
s'more. That's what
Yeah,
it tasted
heck
like.
Yeah.
That's indulgence.
Hey, you
when
got to
have
treat
that.
yourself. You know?
No, you
That's
got
right.
to.
Nothing wrong with that.
Especially in fall, you don't need your bathing suits on too much.
That's right. That's right. Hibernation
Do
starts.
live in Florida, so maybe you still need the big. But yeah, so I mentioned about the starters. Liam Coen met with reporters after practice and
Yep.
said he's not 100% sure they'll decide in the next 24 hours. I would imagine, I've thought all along I didn't think Trevor Lawrence would play. Maybe other starters might play, but certainly we'll see that. But let's get to what we saw in that joint practice. Obviously,
Yep.
you had the offense on one field, ones versus the Jaguars offense on one field, the Jaguars defense on the other field as far as ones versus the Panthers ones.
Yep.
And it was spirited. It was physical.
Mhm.
I saw at least one tackle all the way to the ground. I thought they were
there's
doing
multiple,
that.
yeah,
and
there was,
But
yeah.
hey, either way, it seemed like everyone escaped fairly healthy. We saw two almost scuffles, both on the Jaguars' offensive field,
side, yeah.
not the defensive field, which is
Yeah.
interesting. I loved that the tight ends got involved a lot more today. Brenton
They
Strange,
did.
Nate Borkature, Tanner Koziel.
Yep.
And I was saying to Taylor, if Bashal Tootin can get through the line of scrimmage, like
Yeah.
if he can get a crease, no one's catching that man on the football field.
Yeah, no question about it. The running game looked good today, as far as what they could show.
Yeah.
You're not tackling all the way to the ground on every play, but there was some.
There were some.
There was some of that. Hey, hats off to Ventrell Miller, man. He stuck it to A.J. Dillon on the
Who has
sideline.
the biggest thighs on the planet, by the way.
A.J. Dillon is like,
No,
God.
he does. And he didn't tackle him to the ground, but A.J. Dillon went to the ground pretty quickly, too. I love seeing that. But, yeah, I thought overall it was a good back and forth 1-2 punch. We looked really good on offense in the red zone.
Yeah.
During team, it was some good, some not
Mixed
so
bag,
good.
yeah.
Some of the throws were great. The one pick wasn't. I don't know what he was thinking. And in those situations, even when you're watching Bryce Young, who's about as big as my pinky,
He's
it's
so
unbelievable how
small.
little that kid is, or young man is. You saw him score some too, but there were a couple of times where he's escaping. You don't know if they would have gotten him, so you just don't know. And
Yeah.
a lot of times with the passing, now in the red zone, you kind of do because it happens so quick, and you're getting that ball out pretty quick. But in the middle of the field, you can't
Yeah.
always tell would he been down. And just because they're around him doesn't mean they get him down.
Yeah.
That's what you don't know. That's the the one
Yeah.
caveat. But I thought back and forth, their offense scored on us. They did some things against us. We stuffed them a little bit, and vice versa. I thought, but a great day. So exciting to be down there. All those people, all
was
those
fun.
players. I mean, man, I wish practice was like that every day.
Every
You could
day.
That
tell
would be
they were feeling it.
unbelievable. Yeah, for
Travis
sure.
Hunter, he had the one PBU at one point, and he's like looking at the crowd like, let's go. And I'm
Yep.
like, like at this point, they love football, but when you have the fans out there cheering for
Feeding
you,
them.
it adds, it adds a little something extra. But yeah, I think Liam Coen spoke today on the run game and pretty much said the same thing. It's hard to tell always how many yards you'd actually get out of those runs, but what you can see was impressive. And that's something that we've talked so much about that you wanted to improve. The biggest stink
Yep.
is that word that has been used now for this whole offseason. And so you did see some moments today. Jamar Taylor had a touchdown at 1.2. So there were some of those where you're seeing all these guards. There was Abdullah was out there a good point,
Yeah.
a good bit of time. And so when you see that, you like to see the different backs, obviously, but it does feel like they're comfortable in all of those backs being out there at certain times. So that was fun. And then when it came to the other side, because I was watching the Panthers offense for quite a bit of time, there was a little scuffle on that field too, over by the end zone at one point.
Yep.
But I don't know. Like, I mean, Ted McMillan's so good. That's why I will say that his hands are great.
Good.
He gets up in the air. He got over. It might have
Jabbar
been
Muhammad.
Muhammad. And then I think Husky another time. There was 2 times where he got up over someone's head and got the ball. And I'm like, he's just a really good playmaker. And that they're running the ball really well over there too for a certain period of time. I looked at you, Lauren, at one point, and I was like, well, they're running the ball, but the beginning when it came to the passing side of their offense didn't look good. That heated up as they started going over on that right field. And so, yeah, I mean, I think to me, if you were to ask, like, both offenses looked really good compared to there had some defensive moments, definitely, but I do think that the offense showed out a little bit more than maybe, and the crowd, I'm sure, and all of that probably helps in those moments.
Yeah, and look,
a lot of tight end usage for the Jags today, which was nice.
We've been wondering when that was going to occur, but granted, the Panthers defense traditionally hasn't been great against tight ends. That's what we used to say about the Jaguars defense for a while too. I'll say, Tom, if Trevor Lawrence has a day like today with 4 touchdowns, 1 interception, if you want to have that every single week, I'll live with the 1 interception. Correct, exactly. I'll take 68 touchdowns to 17 picks.
Yeah, and he knew right when he threw it too. That he threw it right to the guy, but I think he was expecting. I think it was Jacoby that was the closest to it, coming more underneath a little bit across the middle. But whatever, he other than that, he was great. The red zone was really good. They were very sharp in the red zone. The beginning of practice was interesting. So I just happened to be on the one end near the facility, right? You know, where the practice inside practice field is. They start doing punt. But then it goes O-line, D-line, and I'm like, oh, wow, this is I don't think a lot of people notice that it's starting. Let me just say this, and it wasn't just in that drill, but B.J. Green II and Danny Strigal, they were in the backfield all day long today. I mean, B.J. Green's speed, his get-off is unbelievable, and his bend and his turn. The one-on-one, the guy couldn't even get his hands on him. He was so fast. So I thought they had great days. They really stood out today, and I know we're still looking for that 3rd, 4th, whatever, but they had a great day today, man. They really got, and B.J. Green again the second. He continues to just stack up these days, stack up these moments where you're like, wow, that guy, he's got something. You know, he's got some natural ability to get to the QB. I think overall, if you ask their coach and you ask Liam, they both feel good about today. Yeah, we did some really good things, some things we got to fix, but overall, I love the energy, I love the physicality, I love the spirit. You know, it felt like, you know, it was closer to a game. You know, than what we've been, the doldrums of practice have been. You know what I mean? I think they both feel good about their team.
Maybe the Saints was like that too, but the reports out of that Saints joint practice last week just didn't leave us feeling like the Jags.
Right.
Yeah, they started
had
off
the upper
really
hand
slow.
a little bit.
Right, in both the practice and in the game. The BJ Green point is interesting. I wonder, since they've been moving Trayvon inside a little bit more, are we going to see Josh Hines Allen and BJ Green on the field at the same time much more than maybe we would have without, obviously, Trayvon being able to move?
Definitely a nickel.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Definitely a nickel. And if you can stop the run, and you can with Trayvon inside, you should be able to, then you could see it in base as well. Although I don't know who would play nose. You know, if it was base, someone's got to kind of play nose. I don't know if Eric really wants to play nose. He's kind of a big nose. Tall, you know. That'd be a big guy, tough to get down, you know, low enough for that. But yeah, definitely in nickel and dime and pass rush situation. I think that's the idea. Like, let's get Trayvon on these guards, use his quickness, athletic ability with his strength and everything else, and then we'll get our next pass rusher who can come around the edge. Sometimes it'll be a power guy like Strigal. Sometimes it'll be a speed guy like B.J. Green II. It's a nice thing to have, but it's good to see both those guys. I thought Wes Williams did a couple things, at least in the one-on-ones. He's got he can get off the ball very quickly, very long. He gets into the offensive lineman really, really quick. So he's got some, you know, work to do, but overall he, you know, shows his athletic ability once again.
We've talked a lot about the offensive line, and for good reason. Let's hear from Liam Coen on the other side, talking about Ezra Cleveland. You are listening to Helmets and Heels, 1010XL, 92.5 FM.
Now, another classic moment in Jags history.
Jacksonville, a community determined to win an NFL franchise. A special addition to the National Football League.
1010XL. home of the Jaguars.
DivorceMenOnly.com. This is Kenny Lay of Kenny Lay and Associates. Our firm specializes in representing men in family law. That's all we do. That's our only focus. We can help with all of your family law needs, such as divorce, custody, alimony, and child support. For over a decade, we have helped thousands of men with these types of issues. We even have an appellate division ready to challenge a judge's ruling. If you need a family law attorney, go to DivorceMenOnly.com. DivorceMenOnly.com. Offices, Jacksonville.
Storm season is here, and at JEA, we're on it. We work year-round to strengthen our electric, water, and sewer systems, making them more storm-resistant. Trees are trimmed around power lines to help reduce outages caused by falling debris. Plus, our online outage map and the My JEA app make it easier than ever to report and monitor outages. So no matter what this storm season brings, we're ready to respond, restore, and keep you informed every step of the way. Learn more and see how you can prepare at JEA.com.
Hey, Tom McManus here. Every championship team needs a deep bench. Same goes for a great dealership. At Tom Busch, we have Mazdas, Minis, BMWs, Volkswagens, and a huge selection of quality pre-owned vehicles, too. Whether you're looking for your first truck, your next commuter, or the SUV for your family needs, we've got all the options that fit your budget. Stop by today and see why more drivers put Tom Busch family dealerships into their starting lineup.
Don't miss the Bari Breakdown with Dr. George Bari on XL Primetime, Wednesdays around 1:35 for the latest in sports injuries from all the big names in the game. Who's MIA, who's coming back? Dr. George Bari on XL Primetime, Wednesdays at 1:35 on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Want to stretch that dollar? Taylor Doll here to help save you money with the Money Pages magazine and app. Trying to figure out dinner? Money Pages has deals at your favorite local restaurants. Need auto repairs or an oil change? Money Pages has coupons to help you save. Looking to do some home improvement projects? Money Pages has deals on everything home, from AC repair and plumbing to flooring and painting. Check your mailbox for Money Pages today and download the app for savings on the go.
David Garrard here, and once again, I'm reporting good news about how good my knees are doing following PRP treatment at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists. For an old quarterback like me, my knees are in great shape.
You don't have to be a celebrity or a professional athlete to appreciate the everyday personal attention you'll receive at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists. For any orthopedic need, call on the pros at SOS.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Daly's Dash is not only your Jaguars game day stop, but a great place to grab a meal any day of the week. To honor the Jags and the fans, we've crafted the Duval Sub. The Duval comes with freshly sliced turkey, ham, melted cheddar, and habanero jack cheese, topped with crisp lettuce, fresh tomatoes, and a double portion of our secret sauce, all served on a fresh roll. Come by your local's Daly's Dash today to get your delicious Duval Sub. Daly's is the official convenience store sponsor of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Hey everybody, Mike Dempsey here. On September 2nd, DraftKings Game Day arrives with massive deals, exclusive deals, and an all-day celebration for sports fans. The DraftKings Sports app is now live in all 50 states, including right here in Florida. DraftKings Game Day is the kickoff of a new season, a new era. Remember this date, September 2nd. New DraftKings customers sign up with code 1010XL, spend $5 to get $150 in rewards within 14 days. That's code 1010XL. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Event trading offered by DraftKings Predictions, a CFTC registered introducing broker. Trading involves risk of loss. Market availability varies. Eligibility restrictions apply. $50 every 7 days via click to claim. Issued in non-withdrawable predictions dollars that expire in 1 year. Ends August 23rd. Terms dkng.co/predictions promo. Nationwide based on sportsbook predictions and free-to-play sports contest availability. Varies by state.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch.
Another legendary thing, by the way. 3 pairs of tickets to go see Fish.
Ooh,
that's
cool.
right.
With
Have
the
you
PH.
Yes, Fish with a PH.
Yeah,
Have
right.
you ever seen a jam band live?
I have. I've seen something McGee.
Freeze McGee?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
yeah. That's
they
a
were
good one.
very good.
Yeah, I don't think I have. Although I don't know the true definition of a jam band. Like, what is
Like
it?
I would say Allman Brothers is a jam band.
Okay, they just play more music than sing?
Like a lot
that
of
kind
times,
stuff?
yeah, what I call a jam band is when the musicians will, just take over and
Just
for
keep
like
playing.
10 minutes. And there's lyrics and singing as well. But the focus at certain moments of the concert will be
The
totally
musical
on the
side of
musician.
it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Some jam bands don't even have like lyrics. They'll literally
they
just
jam.
be music.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I got you. Okay, that makes sense. A jam band.
Yeah.
All right, now
But
I
it
got
is the
See?
focus a lot on the musical side of the band.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I would say
So no, I have not.
your band, the Dad Bods, there are moments where you step away. and just
Absolutely,
listen to the
I
band.
love
I'm
it.
not going to call y'all a jam band.
No, right.
Because I would say the singing's still a primary
jam it,
focus.
yeah.
But there are
We're
times that,
jamming.
they be jamming.
We jam it.
Exactly.
They be jamming.
Be jamming is right.
I do like leaving the stage and watching, listening to
yeah.
them. They rock.
They're
man.
so good.
They
And
get into it.
By the way, I haven't even given you any
Yeah,
of the
they're
details of the
already calling.
concert, but the phone lines are lit up. So the concert is Friday, October 9th at ViStar Veterans Memorial Arena. If you want to go see Fish, be caller number 2 at 641-1010. Call number 2, 641-1010. We do have 3 pairs of tickets to give away. So if you're on the line right now, you don't win these, you can certainly win another set of tickets. But if you don't win the tickets today at all, then of course just go buy the tickets on Ticketmaster.
Let's go.
It's easy.
Absolutely.
Easy peasy.
Go jam with Fish.
Yeah, I don't think the
Cool
the
name.
fans get to jump on stage, but
Yeah, right.
but they get to listen.
Maybe.
That's
you
right.
get a shot.
Yeah, there's another one that comes through St. Augustine Amphitheater, and I'm totally blanking it, but they come for a Widespread Panic.
Oh,
They
yeah, yeah.
come,
Oh, yeah,
and every
yeah.
year that they come, they do at least 2, if not 3 nights,
Mhm.
and
Okay.
I would put them in that
In
same
the jam
category
band.
of jam band.
And like every
Yeah.
night
Yeah.
it sells out.
Oh, absolutely.
all
yeah.
3 nights.
Yeah, they're
Yes.
big.
I know people that go to every single
Yeah.
one too, which
Yep.
is awesome. But yeah, that's at least that's my definition of a jam band. I'm
Is,
not the be all end all though.
Would Mofro be a
Mofro?
Mofro?
JJ Grand Mofro?
Yeah. Were they a jam band?
I
don't
would
know.
say
No.
no, only because JJ
Sure.
Gray is, I feel like he's more like the primary one,
Uh-huh.
but they definitely can jam.
Yeah.
That's
Gotcha.
for sure. I love JJ Gray and Mofro.
Yeah,
I
they're
told
great.
y'all they're going to come to the new Jack's Amphitheater
Right.
on Normandy
That's right.
to kick things off November the 5th.
Beautiful.
Okay, on the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures 904-641-1010. I'll be at Fish. I saw them first in 1989 at Cat's Cradle in Chapel Hill, North Carolina. There were
Wow.
like 50 people there.
Cool.
That's
I
cool.
love those types of
yeah.
concerts
Oh,
and
that's
the
best.
stories.
awesome.
I
I
absolutely
saw
love
them
that.
at this time when 50 people
89.
were there, and now there's thousands and thousands of people at
Absolutely.
places. Those are always
89
cool.
and they're still playing arenas.
Yeah, good
That's
for them.
pretty incredible.
I'm telling you, they are such a good band. Yeah.
Man.
I think the one that I always tell people is I saw Zach Brown Band,
Mhm.
lead singer
Yeah.
of Zach Brown,
What's his name?
at Mavericks in 2009.
Mm.
So that was a pretty small place.
Yeah,
Someone said Dave
absolutely.
Matthews Band.
And I would consider them a
me
jam
too.
band for
Oh,
sure.
Some
love
people may
that.
not, but
Oh.
I definitely would because
Yeah.
and I've seen them a couple times. They're very
Oh,
good
yeah.
live.
They're
Yeah,
excellent.
they are. I've seen them a couple
Yeah.
times too.
And yeah,
So you
Chicago.
have some.
Yeah, so I've seen a jam band. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've seen him a couple times. He's great.
and again, that's not a
Oh, they're
hard and
great.
fast definition. That's just what I
Yeah.
call it. That's for
Yep.
sure. All right, so let's hear from Liam Coen on his offensive lineman. I won't even say a position because I'm not sure what it is right now, but Ezra Cleveland.
We had a good talk. I talked to Ezra for a while, and it's no secret, we're a little nicked up, and we need the guys that have set the tone for us and physically set a tone to do that now, right? Like there's no, trust us and trust that, we kind of have I don't want to call it a sickness. Like we got a little bit of some guys banged up, but trust that, hey, the practice schedule, the way it's set up, like we're going to protect you and take care of you. But when we go, we got to go. And we needed him to take that step. I was very pleased with his energy and toughness today.
Basically, if Liam Coen ever says when you need to go, that means that
Go.
Better go.
Yeah.
we're not seeing what we expect out of you. We've
Yep.
certainly talked a lot about it. And yes, from the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures, the Grateful Dead is a jam band
Yes,
for sure. I
for
meant to
sure.
mention them as
Yep.
well. I should have come prepared.
that one
with the
always
whole-
tricks me.
Yeah.
The Grateful Dead.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
the name makes me think they're going to be like metal. And then the first time I
Right.
heard them, I was like, that is not
No.
what I was expecting.
Right.
Jerry Garcia,
whatsoever.
tie-dye,
Yeah,
hippie,
not
yeah.
it.
Well, Skinner's got some jam band in them, right?
Skinner definitely
I mean, they go
does,
off
yeah.
on a tangent. a lot of songs.
Yeah, absolutely.
it's awesome.
It's a really good guitar for them too.
Yeah.
Yeah. You have to have really good musicians to have a good jam band.
Yeah. Speaking of Ezra, because we were talking off air a little bit, and I was like, I'm glad something's being said because I've felt like all camp, and I've said this multiple times on air, I'm just not seeing it from Ezra. What exactly is going on? Because I've seen him multiple times in one-on-ones get pushed back. I've seen in team drills him just, guys getting around him a little easier, and it didn't feel like some of the times you're like, okay, well, maybe they're banged up, so it's not just full effort, but it didn't ever feel like that. It just, and you kept saying, Tommy, like, I'm just waiting for him to turn it on. Like at some point,
like he's just a veteran. He knows when to turn it
it'll
on.
happen.
He's going to eventually turn it on.
I guess this time it took Liam to say something for him to turn it on, but you saw it today at least. And so you saw the Ezra that you're used to seeing at least at the beginning of that.
He answered the call today. I mean, he was not only physical, but he was one of the first guys in every skirmish, backing his fellas up.
Pregnant too.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Just, you want to develop that kind of nastiness on your line. He's got it in him, Ezra, because we've seen it. We've seen it last year, and we've all been kind of like, man, I wish, he's not really doing anything. Like, what's going on? And then, we saw the other day, Baselli and him talking. It wasn't a heated thing, but I could tell Tony was like, come on, man, like, go block somebody. Like, let's go. Like, let's get physical. So, maybe it took another team. Maybe he doesn't, at this point in his career, he's like, against my own guys, I'm not going to give it my full physical, violent self. But another team comes in, And look, I guarantee a part of that was from the Saints. So he didn't perform well. Probably in with the Saints week, right? Or
in the
I'm sure the O-line in general didn't perform very well, but they need him as a leader, right? They need him to be, hey man, because it is contagious.
Yeah,
that O-line when one of your guys is getting really vicious or blocking to the whistle or getting a little shoving match, you want to like. Do that, like not getting the shoving match, but get that intense to match that intensity. So it should be contagious. I thought overall the O-line was okay. They did bust some runs again. You don't know if they're tackled or not, but they were running hard. It was very physical up front.
It was Tootin's best day for sure.
It was,
They had some pre-snap penalties again.
They did.
I think 4 of them.
Yeah, look, they got a good defensive front. The
they
Panthers.
do.
Yeah.
That's I didn't see Trevor harassed. That was the good part.
Yeah, no, definitely.
But he also knows Trevor's smart enough. He's savvy enough. He knows when to move around and things like that. And that's one thing that he does really well.
Well, Liam talked about that today, too, of how the offense, when it looked its best, it was when Trevor was using his legs last year, especially in the red zone specifically. I think he was talking about.
He was, because that's when the windows are so tight. And he's like,
it's hard to game plan, scheme up against, scheme getting guys open in the red zone because the space, everything's so condensed. So you being able to have a quarterback like Trevor who can move that way and use his legs and times, what you are seeing today, too, that obviously helps. You see, Lamar, that's what made Lamar who he is in the beginning. And then the passing kind of came and settled in and got better throughout his career. But in the beginning, it was like, use your legs, create time, evade some pressure, especially in the red zone, and get that done. And last year, I know there's all that hesitation of like, you don't want Trevor hurt, but your best offense is when Trevor is able to move around and use his legs.
Yeah, when he runs defiant, he shouldn't get hurt because he's a big guy. It's not like he's not built for, taking on contact. You don't want direct contact, and he knows how to get out of the way. And look, I think every quarterback that comes off the bench, and I don't care high school, college, or pro, if you can run, use your legs because they're coming after you, especially as you get in the upper ranks. Like, I mean, the NFL, that's new blood. Like, man, we're going to confuse you. We're going to put pressure on you. The only way you can combat that is getting out of dodge and making something happen.
Yeah.
Getting a first down with your legs, and then that D coordinator's going, oh, man, now we got to contain them. Now we got to worry about this. Can't just go after them all the time. Those legs are a dangerous thing. And look, we talked about it yesterday with the run game. The run game was so good, and then it wasn't good, but then Trevor took over the run game, and he was the one that was getting most of the yards in the run game.
On the ground,
and it was
rushing touchdowns.
He was because he was like his coach told him, hey, let it go. Like, if nothing's there, let's make your weapon. Like, you're 6'6", 230, man. You're a big dude. Listen, you guys, you see him at practice. I don't know if you've seen him in public, but I saw him in Publix when he was a rookie. I was with my mother, Joan. God bless you, Joni. We were in Publix doing her shopping, and he was in there, and I'd never seen him in person, like up close like that. I was like, dang, he's a big son of a gun, man. He ain't no little,
6'6".
and he can move. So, yeah, when that defiant kind of running where he's like, man, I'm just going to make it happen. He had it in the past, too, man. Remember our big Kansas City game? Remember that run in the playoffs? He put his shoulder down. It wasn't like he's afraid to, but prior to last year.
He did that in college.
Yeah,
that
absolutely.
Clemson-Ohio State
Yeah.
game, I vividly remember watching that, cheering for Clemson, of course, at the time, long before I knew Trevor Lawrence would be our quarterback. But their offense was a little slow going, and then all of a sudden, one time he took off, he looked for contact, honestly.
Yep.
And then he almost played with his hair on fire after that. It's almost like he needed a little bit of that.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, like, they can't hit him right now, so you don't get to have him go through that a little bit. But at the end of the day, I feel like Liam Coen and Trevor Lawrence have this really cool relationship. Trevor kind of talked about it too, but like they're able to say things to one another. They're able to get feisty with one another. And then, they're still good with each other.
Yeah.
And I don't think Trevor had that with Doug Peterson.
Definitely
I don't
not.
think he had it with Urban Meyer.
No. Well, and Liam's what, 40?
Yes.
Yeah, so he's young.
You
I
can
mean, when you're
relate
what
a little bit more.
25 to 40, you're
Right.
not like thinking, oh, he's so old, I can't deal. Guy that's in his 50s, 60s, you're like, man, Grandpa, I don't know if I can go to Grandpa with this one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Grandpa's not going to understand this one.
Yeah. It's funny. So Todd Golden got to talk to the Florida football team, and John Summerall said after, this was on Monday during his media availability, he said, like, I felt better about myself because Golden threw out more cuss words than I do. And I was like, because they're the same, well, Summerall and Golden are around the same age,
Yeah.
but Liam and Todd Golden are like exactly the same age,
Yeah.
pretty much. But yeah, on the other side, let's hear from Trevor Lawrence on his relationship with Liam Coen and more. You are listening to Helmets and Heels, 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Streaming live from the XL Digital Studios. Polished by Harbor Dental Care. Official dental partner of the Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp.
I'm local attorney Rick Alexander. In my 30 years practicing law, I've learned you never want to choose money over health. It's always a bad deal. Unfortunately, when someone screws up and you get hurt, that choice is gone. Your only choice is whether you face the future with a lawyer or without one. If you're hurt because somebody screwed up, call me at the practice. The Alexander Law Practice, 904-400-6600 or alexanderlawpractice.com, Jacksonville.
Hey, Tommy Mack here for John's Pest Solutions. I've been friends with John for many years. I know he takes pests as seriously as I take football. With all the rain we're getting, you'll probably notice an uptick in ants, roaches, and mosquitoes. Don't stress about it. John's Pest Solutions will tackle all your pest issues the way I used to tackle running backs. John's Pest Solutions will treat your lawn and around your house so you can relax and enjoy the football season. Visit johnspestsolutions.com today. That's johnspestsolutions.com.
25 weeks comes down to this.
You ready?
3 wide under the lights. 0 margin for error. Everything on the line. Flirting with 200 miles per hour in the place where this journey began. Race 26, the final hunt for a spot in the chase. The Coke Zero Sugar 400 weekend at Daytona, August 28th through 29th. Get your tickets now at DaytonaInternationalSpeedway.com.
Hey, it's Joe C. for Wingstop. Have you ever heard of a flavor rodeo? Now available at Wingstop. Carolina Gold, a bold blend of tangy mustard barbecue, apple cider vinegar, and savory spices for the right amount of southern sweet and tang. And Jamaican Jerk, a rich barbecue sauce infused with chilies, thyme, cinnamon, garlic, nutmeg, and sweet molasses. Finished with a savory jerk season for an extra layer of flavor. Carolina Gold and Jamaican Jerk. Now that's a flavor rodeo for a limited time only at Wingstop.
Hello, this is Father Nicholas Lowe, and I want to talk to you about enjoying your life. So often we can go through life trying to make a living instead of making a life. Yes, it's good to be goal-oriented, but let me encourage you today that our days are numbered. We're not promised tomorrow, so go out and take time to be with your family. You'll always have your work, but you won't always have your family.
To hear more inspirational messages by Reverend Dr. Nicholas Lowe, please visit our website at stjohnthedivine.com.
If you are an experienced electrician looking for your next big opportunity, look no further than the Miller Electric Company, a trusted name in the industry for over 96 years. At Miller Electric, we tackle the biggest projects in the city, offering you the chance to showcase your skills on a grand scale. We believe in rewarding hard work with the best pay, top-notch benefits, and an unbeatable culture where people actually care about each other. Take your career to new heights with Miller Electric Company. Apply today at millercareers.com. Miller Electric, an equal opportunity employer.
Frank Frangie here. I'm Jacksonville born and raised. This town's in my blood. And in a market this choppy, I only trust the people who grew up here and know it inside and out. Well, that's Chad and Sandy. Need to sell now? Chad and Sandy have instant offers, fast, easy, stress-free. Need a max price? Their science-based Market Max system is a proven, repeatable system guaranteed to sell your home for maximum price. Ask Jen over in Big Tree in Mandarin. Her investment townhouse had already failed to sell with another agent for months. So she hired Chad and Sandy, and they got it sold in 48 hours, cash, as is, no concessions. Check in hand in just 17 days at full market value. Chad and Sandy are the local real estate experts. Using their proprietary Market Max system, Chad and Sandy guarantee your home sold at an agreed-upon price and deadline, or they'll buy it. No required repairs. Pick your own move date. No long-term contracts. So call Chad and Sandy 904-414-6200 or head today to chadandsandy.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch.
PSA, this is not fish, so do not call for the tickets right now. All right, let's hear from QB1. Trevor Lawrence met with reporters post the joint practice today with the Panthers. He was asked about his relationship with his head coach.
As far as our relationship, it's really good. We communicate, we talk a lot. But yeah, there's definitely things we're still learning about each other, and that's just going to grow and grow the longer we're together. And definitely, though, you know how people operate, and then we get in the heat of the moment. We're both competitive. I've talked about that a little bit. So you know what to expect from each other a little bit, and if we go at it a little, I think that's the cool part is we're both passionate about it, we both care about it, and we're able to bounce back from stuff like that really quickly because we both just want the best for this team, this offense.
So there you have it. I like it. They're both passionate, and hey,
I mean, we saw that early last year with the chest pound and the shoe away, and everybody freaked out. But you didn't know the personality of Liam as well. Like, you got some glimpses throughout the offseason, but especially as just fans and media of how that reacted. I remember everyone being like, oh no, like, or do they hate each other? But come to find out, it's more like whether it's big brother, little brother type of mentality of like, I got you, but I'm also going to hold you to the highest possible, like hold you very accountable because I know you are better than, you know, some of the things that we've seen at certain times. And so that's the vibe that Liam gives Trevor, and Trevor has that level of respect, but also like, I want to be able to have these conversations and explain my side of things, and let's make this kind of like that. And so you see that because you see them at camp or practice or during games on the sideline, always having conversations, whether something's good or bad. And so that's a good thing because I do feel like previous coaches, Urban Meyer's a whole different story, but even with Doug, there was just moments where Doug would come to the podium and it was more so like, Trevor's got to do this and Trevor's got to be better at this when there was 14 drops in the game and like the, you know, multiple things going on. And it always just felt like maybe that was Doug's way of holding him accountable and trying to be like, Trevor, you're better. But it just never felt like they had the relationship that Trevor and Liam have to where they can fix things. It doesn't
push each other.
and push each other to be better. And I think that's really cool to see.
Well, look, it speaks to of Trevor's character too, because look, quarterbacks outlast coaches. I mean, especially ones that are franchise and are paid like a franchise QB. You're normally going to outlast that coach unless you both together have success together. And that's got to be the ultimate thing. It can't be, hey, I'm Mr. QB, and, you know, I could get you fired. And not that he would think that, but, you know, that whole attitude, it's not that. It's saying, no, let's work this together and try to make something happen. Like, we both want to win. We both want to play. I know I want to play well. I know you want me to play well. So let's figure out how we can make sure that I play well to help this team win a championship, which we both desperately want. So it's good, you know. It's that, like I could see, and I'm not there. It's perception, maybe it's reality. Like, I see Stroud with a broomstick up his backside, you know, thinking he walks on water out in Houston and nothing's ever his fault. And if a push came to shove, the ownership would tell DeMeco Ryans to go and not him, right? Maybe not at this point because of he's not there in the contract, and the coach has won 3 in a row. But that's the kind of perception I feel, right or wrong. That's what it seems like. Like, he's like, hey man, I mean, you hear stories about him fighting with his QB coach as a rookie. You know, we didn't do it that way in college. Well, we do it this way here. Well, next thing you know, they're about to get in a scuffle. You never hear that kind of stuff. So again, at the end of the day, if the head coach and the QB their main goal is to win, and they can handle the ego step aside. Like, if you yell at me, think about it. When someone yells at you, you have an emotion. You get either mad, you get upset, or you get sad, or whatever. You're normally not happy, so yelling at you. Right? Sure. So how do you handle that in response with the idea, like, I really want to come back at you and be like, you know what, beep you. It's not me, it's you, but that's not how this is going to work. How it's going to work is where it's okay if you get on me, but just know that I may not respond. Like you tell me, put it on my chest, I may tell you, yeah,
No,
get out of here. I got it. Just leave me alone kind of stuff. And it feels like
I make more money than you.
it takes more.
But I'm listening.
You know, I don't want to say it like that, but that's why quarterbacks outlast the coach.
Yeah.
If things don't go well,
It's like certain
it's the
NBA
coach
players.
that's going most of the time, as opposed to the
NBA stars can pretty much fire and hire
but they're
coaches.
not like that, which is great because they all want the same thing. And when you got that, you can take critique, right? I say it all the time. Like, tough love to me was like the best because if they did it right, because the love was there. If you did well, the love was there. If you acted right, the love was there. If you played well, the love was. If you got good grades, the love was there. If you didn't, the tough part came around. That's all it was. It was just like, if you mouthed off in school and they called home, your ass was grass.
Yeah.
I mean, it just was.
Yeah, you're
You know,
grounded,
if you came home with a great report card, everyone was happy. Way to go. That's great. I'm proud of you. Happy. All right. This is great. You know what I mean?
I do.
So it's just kind of that kind of thing. And look, hearing from his dad last year, like, this is the staff that's been the hardest on him. They've been coaching him hard. And we all need that, you know?
Well, he also has always been the guy.
The guy, the
Going
star.
all the way back to
Yes.
high school in Cartersville, Georgia. Obviously,
Yes.
Clemson, there was no one pushing him.
Yeah.
Yes, maybe Urban tried to have a little bit of competition between Gardner Minshew and Trevor, but everybody knew he was picked number 1 overall. Gardner was picked in the 6th round. That was never going to be a true competition.
Once you heard Urban, remember when Urban said, man, the ball comes out. I heard, it went right by my ear. It was like this.
It was his pro
rocket.
day.
Yeah, his pro day.
He
Like,
wanted to go stand right by him to
Weirdo.
listen
to the
to
ball.
the way the football
Yeah.
sounded.
Hear how it comes out.
Before we get to your take from the text
Weirdo.
line, design. Well, in more ways than one. From the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures, how did Devin Lloyd look today? Was he making plays against the Jaguars? We talked about this off air.
Yeah.
He didn't just jump off the page.
No.
There were several guys that did today, including some of the guys on the Panthers defense. He didn't jump off the page to me. But again, we'll maybe get to see him in the preseason game Friday night and see what he can do.
Yeah. He made a couple plays here and there, but nothing like we're like, oh, man, he's. And they didn't blitz him a ton, so it was like, I don't know. They played him kind of vanilla, it felt like. He made a couple plays in the run game. Again, it's not full, so it's hard to really tell. But other than that, no, he looked fine. I mean, I don't think Jalen Phillips really, like, their pass rush wasn't, if you compared what we heard in New Orleans with their pass rush against us is night and day compared to what we saw today. Our pass rush held up, or our pass
Offensive
protection
line,
held up pretty well.
And that
against
was
their pass
without
rush.
Cam Jordan there.
Right, the Saints, last week. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, the offensive line, Anton Harrison was left tackle. Left guard was Emmanuel Pregnon. Robert Hainsey was the center. Ezra Cleveland was the right guard. And Walker Little was the right tackle, which we've seen that lineup before. And so, interesting to see what exactly it looks like Friday night, and then obviously what it really looks like week 1 against the Browns. Time now for Tom's Take.
Now, Tommy's Takes. Protected by Morgan & Morgan. ForThePeople.com. Or dial #law. That's all.
Well, I got 2 today, if I can. My take on this beautiful Wednesday afternoon, brought to you by Morgan & Morgan. One is not so happy, and the reason I bring it up is, it's another NFL veteran that has succumbed to ALS. O.J. Bergantz, a linebacker, many years in the National Football League, has passed away recently after battling it for 16 years. When I got hurt in 99, after I rehabbed, I was told that they weren't going to re-sign me, so I took 3 trips in the spring of 2000, and one of them was to Baltimore. Jack Del Rio worked me out, and O.J. Bergantz was one of the other linebackers that worked out that day. And I didn't really get to know him that much, but I always remember that he was one of the guys. He actually signed him, I think, and played for them. But thoughts and prayers to his family, just anybody that's dealing with that. I know we all, hope there's a cure for everything out there, but, man, I hope they can figure something out. That ALS is just... just awful, but rest in peace. And then number 2, here's a take. I made a comment earlier, and thank you for recognizing the before the game on Friday night.
You're a legend.
I'm part of the legends community that they call legends.
Technically,
I
they're
love it.
honoring
I
you
love
as
it.
the legend of the game.
Our football legends, we know who they are, and they were great. And they were my teammates, and I loved playing football with them. They were absolutely fantastic. But, listen, sometimes you got to listen to your gut. And your gut, in my world, my gut is the Holy Spirit trying to guide me through life. And it's hard because a lot of times your brain wants to take over, your head wants to take over your gut. But if you listen to your gut, sometimes it works out beautifully. And I'll tell you why, because when I got the phone call that was October of 1994, I'd been cut twice, right? So I was done. I moved to Boston. I was working at a bar, but I'd just gotten a cool job. I was getting a great sales job. I was ready to go. It was going to be covering all these pro teams and college universities and their sports teams and doing PT sales, like physical therapy stuff, a car, I had a spending allowance, make 40 grand a year. I was like, this is great. What a great gig. And then I get this phone call, and it's the linebacker coach, Steve Szabo, that Coughlin brought down to Jacksonville from BC. And it was like 2 years I haven't talked to him at all. He's like, well, what are you doing? I'm like, what am I doing? What the hell are you like? Why are you calling me? And anyway, he went through the whole rigmarole. He's like, look, we're a first-year team. Tom got the job. I said, yeah, I heard that. And he's like, we're a first-year team. We're going to have free agency. We're going to have a draft. We're going to have an expansion draft. And then there's going to be the remaining 10 or so guys that are just going to be off the street from somewhere. We don't know who we have. We don't know anything. And all I can offer you right now is a workout. That's it. And I said yes, like right away. I didn't even say, hey, give me a minute. Let me think about it. I'll call you tomorrow. I said yes. And he's like, well, can you? I told him about the job. He's like, well, I said, I'm going to call him. I'm going to take care of that. I said, but yeah. He's like, do you have a place to work out? And I was like, yeah, I think I do. And it was my parents' house down in Florida. Like I was ready to get away, just go to New Smyrna Beach and train like crazy. It's my last shot. I had 2 months to get in shape. He asked me if I was in shape. I lied. And he's like, well, you got 2 months to get in shape. I was like, perfecto, no problem. And it ended up working out, right? Ended up playing here 5 years, stayed here, been here 31 years, going to be recognized Friday night just for being here. And you know what? I'm going to be thinking about my parents, how proud they'd be and how cool it is. My family's going to be there, my wife and 3 girls. So listen, I love you, Jacksonville. I may be hard on your team from time to time, but it's because I want them to freaking win, and I want them to win the Super Bowl. And I want all of us to feel that, because there's nothing better than playing and being a part of a winning football organization. No question about it. And that's my take today, brought to our good friends at Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com, and on your cell at Pound Law. That's all.
I love your immediate yeses when BC called. Yes.
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 Yeah.
So you're
Changed
gonna
my life.
like, yeah.
Changed
and
my
both those
life.
phone calls being such impactful moments in your
Think
life,
about
the
this,
BC
too.
call and now that
If
call.
I don't go to BC, Tom never knows me.
Yeah.
Think about. Tell me that's not somebody.
Yeah.
Whatever, I believe it's Holy Spirit, but whatever. Somebody's guiding me to do these things, and then meet the woman of my life and be with her forever. You know what I mean? Like, come on, it's like
Absolutely.
It's just poetic or something.
I love
It's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing.
Could be a movie, honestly.
Yeah. And
could
somewhere out there, the person that took your $40,000 job as a CEO.
Yeah,
and
they're
makes
like,
millions.
yes.
No, I did. I told. I think I. Oh, I didn't finish. Yeah.
No.
So Brian Howlett.
I told you.
Oh, I know. I thought I told this story to you guys before, but anyway. So Brian Howlett was the linebacker at BC, a year behind me. I called him up. I said, I got a great job for you. He just graduated. He's like, Tommy Mac, no way. Like, really? I'm like, I'm telling you right now, I'm going to call the guy now. If you want it, it's your job. I already told him, like, I'll find him somebody. They're going to be just like me. You're going to love them. And I told him, you're perfect for it. Called the guy. I was like, have him call me. Worked for him for 10 years.
Wow.
Nice.
Yeah, 10
See,
years
I
he
knew
had that
it.
job. Yeah.
I
Isn't that
knew
cool?
it. Yeah.
And by the way, when I called that boss, and I can't remember the name of the company, but when I called him, he said, oh, Tom, you got to do it. And I said, well, I already said yes. And he's
Yes,
like,
I
no,
am.
I would have too. It's okay.
I
I'm
love that.
really, you got to go for this. And I said, thank you so much. I
Yeah.
really appreciate it. Yeah. So,
And
yeah.
your dad got to see you.
Yeah. He did. He came to all my running workouts. Like, he was the one
I love
timing me in the 40. And I used to use these screwdrivers on the grass field. I'd lay them out for starting point. I had 10 yards, 20 yards, and then 60. So my thought was, run through the 40. Don't, because every time I used to run a 40 when I was before this, I swear I'd have nightmares about it. It would be like quicksand, and it would be like a mirage, like the end line's so far away, and I'm never gonna get there. You know what I mean? I'd have these crazy ass dreams, and it's always on your mind.
This is the longest 40 ever.
Yeah, right. I thought.
Well, and you can't do anything in your dreams, right? Like you're never successful at whatever task it is.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right. Good takes today. We've got maybe some more concert tickets to give away next, so don't go anywhere. 1010XL 92.5 FM.
This is Barry Sanders.
Sanders still on his feet, and Sanders is gone.
Jacksonville Sports Radio.
1010XL. Hello, First Coast. I'm sure by now you have seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We're an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We're committed to customer service, reliability, and have an unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today from GFL, Green for Life.
Hey, life can get a little hectic at times. No one's got time to get hurt, man. Lost wages, injuries that not only hurt, but they hinder our success. If you're in this position due to the negligence of another, you deserve to be paid, man. What's up, Jayville? Tom McManus here. Injuries suck. I know it. And if you get injured out there, you got to check out Morgan & Morgan. They're the largest personal injury law firm in the country with enough firepower to handle all your personal injury cases that you may be dealing with. How about $30 billion recovered worth of firepower, that is? They make filing a claim easy, and you don't get paid. They don't get paid unless you do. Morgan & Morgan, for the people. Visit forthepeople.com or hit pound law from your cell. Pound law, that's all.
AA Automotive helps keep your vehicle in dependable and safe condition. Call Sam, Harry, or Joe, and they'll check your brakes, tires, fluids, electric, and motor, so your ride runs smooth on the road. That's AA Automotive on Richard Street.
You may not be able to control the air you breathe on the outside, but you certainly can on the inside of your home. Just call Florida Home AC and ask about the Remy Halo. It's the next generation of air quality technology. Call 777-4300 for Florida Home AC.
It's about to get real. Training camp is on. Listen to 1010XL throughout the day for all the details and analysis of the passes, runs, and defensive performances. 1010XL's coverage of training camp is brought to you by Green Acres Sporting Goods.
Hi, this is Dave Barker. Multi-unit hair grafting is now available at IHRS and can give you 3 times more hair in one procedure over a traditional hair transplant.
Multi-unit hair grafting gave me more hair in one procedure and within my budget.
You can grow your hair back with this exclusive new procedure. Call now for your free evaluation and see if multi-unit hair grafting or PRP can restore your hair. Call 904-777-IHRS.
My bald spots are gone. Thanks, IHRS.
IHRS is the only clinic in the Southeast to offer all proven solutions to restore your hair and is now offering multi-unit hair grafting. One procedure, more hair.
You've got nothing to lose but more hair. I feel younger, I look younger, and who doesn't want to feel better about themselves?
This year, grow your hair back. Call for a free evaluation. Call IHRS 904-777-IHRS 777-4477.
Brian Wall here. Would you take your paycheck, go to the bank, cash it, and then simply throw it up in the air? I didn't think so. But in a way, over the years, that is exactly what you're doing if you have old or builder-grade windows in your home. Even if you have a brand new home, those windows are not the best windows you can have to save on your energy bills. Window World has sold millions of replacement windows to homeowners like you, and Window World's customer satisfaction is the highest in the business. Please check Window World out yourself and save on your new windows and on your energy bills. Compare with other companies and you'll see Window World is simply the best for less. It's up to you. You can call Window World and get a free estimate, get the best guarantee in the window replacement business, save money on your new windows, and save more on your energy bills. Call Window World today at 904-443-7001 or go online to windowworldneflorida.com. Thank you for your business.
Window World also offers energy-efficient doors.
1010XL, presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focus, fueled, fearless, Farah.
This little ditty is called Sample in a Jar, also by Fish, PH. ISH. If you want to go see Fish on Friday, October 9th at ViStar Veterans Memorial Arena, be call number 4-641-1010, call number 4-641-1010, and you are headed to go see Fish. If you don't win the tickets, you have one more chance to win them, but also they are on sale right now at Ticketmaster, so one more pair of tickets to give away, but if you don't win those, then yes, you can buy them at Ticketmaster.com. I feel like this time of year, we get so many good concerts coming through town.
Yeah.
Like the spring, we get a ton, and then I feel like it slows down a little in the summer, and then fall, it
People
kicks
don't
right
want to
back
be
up.
here in July and August, so they're like,
Especially out the outdoor venues, that's for sure.
Somebody on the text line brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures. Tommy said, tell Tom I used to work at Marker 32 with a girl named Lisa that I believe was friends with his wife. I think one of their first dates was at Marker while I was working. Does that sound right?
Not our first date, but a lot of our anniversaries have been at Marker 32, including our 20th during COVID. They set us up out on the we're like out on the marina. They had a table out there for us. Yeah, it was great. We tried to figure that out. Our first date, I'll tell you. So I didn't know where to. I wanted to go somewhere just kind of not normal, you know. So I asked. I don't know why I asked Joel Schmingy, but I asked Joel, and Joel told me there's a really cool place called Lulu's down on the water on Roscoe.
Yep. Palm Valley.
On Palm Valley Road. So I was like, yeah, that sounds cool, man. Go down there and something different. So I pick her up. I go to her house. Well, it turns out her dad's a huge Jag fan, so she was a little nervous, like, you know, he's going to talk, and she told him not to talk, and of course he talked, you know. But I knew right away that she offered me a beer right away, Christina did. And I was like,
yeah,
this is a cool chick. All right, I'm cool. And then her mom, there's a different story about her mom, but her mom came in and it was great. So anyway, we went down there and we ate mud bugs. We got 5 pounds of crawfish and beers, and I was like, this is the coolest chick, you know. I didn't know that much about her other than I was really attracted to her. Thought she was wicked hot and all that, but I didn't know that much. But we had a great first date. So it was,
I love
so not
crawfish.
Marker 32 on a first date, but a lot of times with Marker, and we love Marker. We love the even just sitting at the bar sometimes is cool. You know, getting an appetizer.
I feel like sometimes there's more people at the bar than there are sitting in the restaurant.
You got to get there at the right time, or you won't find a seat at their bar.
We've been there a ton with Brian's family for sure.
Yeah, it's good.
Our first date was at North Beach Fish Camp upstairs.
Yeah.
There,
Oh, we love it.
Yeah, it was
the
fantastic. At the bar upstairs.
At the bar upstairs.
And so every year our birthdays, as you know, are close, and so every year we'll go to North Beach for either a birthday, now anniversary, whatever it ends up being. One of our birthdays, anniversary. I love North Beach.
That's when you just recently went and saw a Jaguar there.
Yes.
Player,
That's right.
not
yes,
a
Jaguars player.
That's right.
There were no live Jaguars at North Beach.
It's like, what?
Wow.
You want to hear a funny story about the name Jaguar? I'm going to just do it real quick, right? My brother Bob, I don't know if he's listening, but I was in, my parents were living in Edgewater at the time. I was home for spring break. My brother Bob and I went up to Daytona Beach for the night, or hang out. So anyway, we ended up going to Molly Brown's, a strip club, you know, whatever, yada, yada. So I get home, I wake up, no big deal, go out to the, I think I went out and worked out, and I came home, and I come in the door, and my mother's like, who in the hell is Jaguar? And I was like, I looked at Bob, he's like, that's the dancer from last time. I'm like, oh, no, I gave her mom and dad's number. He's like, yeah, you did, you dummy. I was like, never mind, Mom. Who's Jaguar? Where are you hanging out? All this stuff. I was like, don't worry about it. It's all good. But think about that. Thinking about Jaguar. And Jaguar happened to be her name.
And then Christina was a roar.
That's an interesting one.
Yeah.
From one Jaguar to another.
Unbelievable.
I was going to talk about NFL news and notes here, but we're just going to go out
We just
on
went
that.
off the rails.
We're going to go on a high note. We'll get it to Taylor's Tangent. Regroup when we return. You're listening to Helmets and Heels, 1010XL, and 2.5 FM.
Life is about choices and the decisions you make. I'm David Robbins with Epstein & Robbins. If you're convicted of a DUI, you'll have to face severe consequences. Walking through the doors of the courthouse or appearing at a bond hearing can be extremely intimidating. Without the right lawyer, you're likely to make the wrong decision. Let our team help you make the right decisions in court. Epstein & Robbins, the right choice.
Epstein & Robbins.
fighting for your rights since 1975.
Feel the roar of the Jaguars. Preseason tune-up number 2 brings the Jags back to the bank. The Carolina Panthers, Friday night at 7:30 on the home of the Jacksonville Jaguars. 1010XL.
Lauren Brooks here. Game days are back in Duval, and Closets by Design is ready to make your home a championship space. That's right, Closets by Design does way more than just closets. They can transform your man cave to wow your friends when they come over to watch the Teal and Black. Schedule a free in-home consultation or schedule a tour of their amazing showroom on Phillips Highway by calling 904-878-9393. You can also find them online at closetsbydesign.com, and get this, 40% off plus an extra 15% off with free installation, and 18-month financing is available.
Frank Frangie here for my friends at Coil Fencing. You've heard me talk about our Bregan baseball complex with walk-off charities, and we needed a batter's eye. Nobody knew how to do it. Coil figured it out, and it is great. Since then, Coil & Sons has completed hundreds of projects, including most recently our football fields at Fort Family Park. The bottom line is they do everything. They do it well. It looks great. I trust Coil & Sons. You can too. Since 1927, they've been getting it right. CoilJacks.com, COYLE Jacks.com. That's where you find them. A proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Hacker, the 2026 Hacker Fantasy League is right around the corner, and we're heading back to one of my favorites, Twin Peaks, Thursday night, August the 20th. Be listening soon for your opportunity to get in to the HFL.
At Orthopedic Specialists of Jacksonville, care starts with listening, one-on-one consultations, clear answers, and a plan built around you. Our orthopedic surgeons, sports medicine physicians, and rehabilitation specialists work together to treat injuries, manage chronic pain, and restore strength and mobility. From your first check-in to your personalized treatment plan, everything is designed to help you move forward with confidence. Orthopedic Specialists of Jacksonville, expert care, improving lives.
Hey Duval fans, Jeff Lageman here. To win on game day, our team needs a flawless playbook and elite execution, and your vehicle is no different. From routine maintenance and brakes to engine and transmission work, team up with one of 30 local Jacksonville Napa Auto Care Centers. Most repairs are backed by a 24-month, 24,000-mile nationwide peace of mind warranty.
Score big! Drive into All Pro Automotive on Levi Road or Beach Plaza Auto Care on Beach Boulevard today.
Home of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
The kids are back to school, and it's finally time to upgrade your outdoor living space.
At Lifetime Enclosures, save big on beautiful glass enclosures, screen enclosures, outdoor kitchens, pergolas, and more.
Stop in and save with our exclusive showroom specials on the outdoor space you've always wanted. Create the perfect place for family dinners, game days, and year-round enjoyment.
Don't wait. Save today. Visit lifetimeenclosures.com to schedule your free consultation. Lifetime Enclosures, bringing affordable luxury home.
Lifetime Enclosures.
I'm Rick Boyle. On September 2nd, DraftKings Game Day arrives with massive deals, exclusive deals, an all-day celebration for sports fans. The DraftKings Sports app is now live in all 50 states, including right here in Florida. DraftKings Game Day is the kickoff of a new season, a new era. Remember the date, September 2nd. New DraftKings customers sign up with the code 1010XL, spend $5 and get $150 in rewards within 14 days. That's code 1010XL in partnership with DraftKings. The crown is yours. Event trading offered by DraftKings Predictions, a CFTC registered introducing broker. Trading involves risk of loss. Market availability varies. Eligibility restrictions apply. $50 every 7 days via click-to-claim issued in non-withdrawable. Predictions dollars that expire in 1 year ends August 23rd. Terms dkng.co/predictions promo. Nationwide based on sportsbook predictions and free-to-play sports contest availability varies by state.
I'm Olivia Brooks with your 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist Local Sports Update, brought to you by JEA. The Jags are adding some help up front, signing offensive lineman Daniel Faalele. He started all 34 games for Baltimore in 2 seasons, signed with the Giants ahead of this season before pivoting to Jacksonville. This move adds depth to the injury-riddled line. Stay with 1010XL for coverage as the Jags host preseason Game 2 Friday at 7:30 at Everbank Stadium against the Panthers. It's 95 degrees at 3 o'clock. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air & Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch.
Taylor Dahl, Tom McManus, RJ Saunders. I'm Lauren Brooks with you from the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures, 904-641-1010. Man, I'm an old sentimental soul, so I move to tears often, but nobody gets me as much as Tom. God bless you, man. I can only hope my daughter appreciates me as much as Tom appreciates his folks. Cheers.
Oh, cheers.
Yeah,
Back at you.
my guess is Move to Tears was not about the Jaguar. It was about becoming a Jaguar.
right.
But then
That's
again, that's
Hey,
neither,
it's all part of the puzzle.
that's neither here nor there. Another comment from the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures. Funny he mentioned Joel Schmange. I also remember he and Seth Payne coming in with their wives too, late 90s.
Yeah. Joel, both of those guys were great players too. Joel was a great. He was like appreciated with us, and I know the fans had a nickname for him, but he was a really good defensive end, man. Big and fast, very athletic, could rush the passer. Yeah, he was a good one. Joel Schmange, really good one.
Absolutely. And final one from the text line for now, designed by Lifetime Enclosures. Isn't it cool that we're seeing the guard center guard philosophy of building an O-line coming to fruition? Now, once we get past the nagging injuries, we can have the best five gel together going forward. I've got a tempered sense of optimism. I think tempered sense is good because, again, some of the Jaguars' better offensive linemen in theory aren't out there. Colvin Lennon, maybe not in theory. Colvin Lennon is one of the better offensive linemen. Patrick McCary, we don't know how long. The Jaguars did make a trade earlier today to get a
giant.
A giant from the Giants.
Yeah, a giant from the Giants.
Yeah.
He is.
And for that will be for a 6th-round pick. So just to get another body in here, at least that hasn't been confirmed by the team yet. But I mean, even Liam Coen talked about it after practice. Like they started with 16 offensive linemen. They got down at one point to 9. Yeah. Grant Udinski talked about that this week as
because the Twitter videos of that one aren't too good.
Yeah.
If you've seen some of those. I'm like, poor guy.
Yes, that's true. All right, let's find out what Taylor's Tangent is on today.
Now, Taylor's Tangent, served up by Chick-fil-A on 1010XL.
So we were talking earlier about the relationship between Liam Coen and Trevor Lawrence, and funny enough, my tangent is about a different situation in the NFL and their coach, and how much when I read this caption and article, I was like, thank God that's not our coach, because I couldn't imagine the chatter that would come out of camp if this was the headline after one of the practices. So frustrated Todd Monken once again ends Brown's practice early after undisciplined display. Could you imagine a world where it was undisciplined and things weren't going your way, so you just end practice and you're like, that's it? I just can't imagine what the storylines would be coming out of a camp here with something like that. So if you go farther into it, they were talking about so it's happened multiple times. I guess he's lost his temper during training camp so far. They were talking about at one point, I guess he threw kind of his little like radio headset thing down, and now he ended this practice early. So the note said over a week ago, Monken threw his radio in frustration after the Browns offense played so poorly in a situational drill. A day later, he described himself in that moment as emotionally hijacked and promised to do better. Unfortunately, his players made no such promise, and they continued to frustrate him. At the end of yesterday's practice, several Browns defenders went too far in physical contact with the offense. After sending 2 defenders off the field, the third straw broke on the camel's back. First, Benton Whitley contacted quarterback Shedeur Sanders, for which he found himself benched. Later, Aiden Huntington suffered the same fate for a hard knock on Quinshon Judkins. Finally, Jared Verse ripped Judkins' Guardians cap off his head, prompting, as quoted by Mary Kay Cabot, who we've had on this show, an animated discussion between coach and his defensive coordinator behind everyone as well. Mary Kay Cabot went on to say that some of Monken's harsh words were overheard by Browns media, but they were unable to report what he said without explicit permission and acknowledgement. Just a day earlier, Verse talked about the importance of fighting over coaxing Browns rookie Spencer Fano. I always forget. Fano. And he said, you have to have that edge. I talk crazy. I'm very disrespectful when it comes to the way I compete, especially when I try to drive my teammates to another level. Well, he said, he captured that disrespectful element, and Todd Monken didn't care for it. So ended up ending practice, told everybody to get off the field, and they were done. So it's a mess up there right now. It's one of those situations where we've already been talking about the quarterback situation in Cleveland and what a wreck it is right now anyways, and what exactly they do. That first preseason game, Deshaun didn't look good. Shador looked even worse, and it was just kind of a mess. The only, Dylan Gabriel scored the touchdown that happened in that game, and late in the game, and so that's a problem.
They've forgotten about him. Like, you never hear that
as
Dylan
much,
Gabriel gets any of the first team
He's getting
reps.
pushed farther and farther.
Right.
It's kind of interesting when it comes to that. But yeah, and then now you're hearing guys fighting with each other, and the coach throwing things and storming off the field. And
Cowboys yesterday had six fights. Like, I wouldn't say either of today's that I saw, and you saw another one. None of those were fights. They were just
you're pushing around.
Activity. That's it.
Yeah. So I read that, and I'm like, could you just imagine the notes that would be coming out of this camp if we were talking about Trayvon Walker ripped Parker Washington's guardian helmet off of his head, and then Liam Coen threw down his radio and said, "In practice, we're done." Like, there would be a lot of panic around the city, and they're already probably panicking a little bit up there because things haven't gone well anyways, and you've spent a lot of capital, whether that be draft capital or money on Deshaun Watson on a quarterback, and you still don't feel like you have an answer.
Yeah, it sounds to me like, Monken, he's inheriting these guys, so they're not his guys, so he gets frustrated when they don't play well. The team's going to get frustrated when they know they have a bad quarterback or the bad quarterbacks.
Yeah.
You just get frustrated, especially if you're, showing up on defense, you're playing well, you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, and then the dang quarterback keeps, messing things up. You're back out on the field. You're back out on the, things. You get aggravated. You get mad. You're ticked off that why don't we have that QB? And I'm sure Monken's feeling the same thing. Now look, it's still early. I don't know. I'd have run their butt. I mean, if you get out of line, there's only two things you do in the NFL: is you find them or you run them.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all you can do. You can't you end practice. You're not doing yourself a favor by end of practice. Yeah. You know what I mean? You're not getting in the work. You're sending a bad message. They want to act up. Well, you want to act up? Well, let's run hundreds, and then we'll see how much longer you want to act up.
And we're going to do that after we go extra.
Whatever.
Practice.
Yeah. That's the only way
is not getting to end.
Correct. But I think it. Look, we talk about. You got to hit on the QB. When you don't, the rest of the team knows it too. And they feel it too. And they don't feel very optimistic about their future because they're not sold on the QB position. Whether it's Watson or Shador, whoever, nobody. But can somebody step up? It looks like Shador's going to get the starting reps against Buffalo this week.
They did a half and half pretty much last week.
Okay, so kind of flip it.
I assume, they'll flip
I know
it.
they got Buffalo on Thursday practice, whether they play in the game or whatnot. But can they do something that gets Monken feeling better? But I could see that frustration if, and then it's the bad news Bears, and then you're like, the heck, this is really frustrating, but they got to get it together. But we all know when you hit on the QB, what greatness that brings to your potential. But when you don't, man, it goes the opposite way.
Yeah. Well, there was the quote, too, after that game, because Shador threw a really bad pick in that first preseason game, and they asked him about it. I'm paraphrasing because I can't remember the exact quote. But he said something about the decision was right. It just slipped out of my hands. I never make the wrong decision throwing the football or something like that. And I was like, no, I don't know. I saw a bad decision. Yeah. I saw a bad throw. I saw a lot of that. But, yeah, I mean, Todd Monken, it's an unfortunate because obviously he was the offensive coordinator for the Ravens for several years. Right. And then
Georgia before that.
In Georgia. Yep. And a lot of the last few years he's been talked about as being, a head coach, potential head coach position. And then this year with the whole Harbaugh situation that kind of got forced. And so maybe he felt like you almost had to take a job like this, or that opportunity may not come again for a little bit. And
go get Flacco. I know they traded him, what I mean? But they don't need him. Since you don't need him, bring him back. He had a great year last year until the end, for a guy that wasn't playing. I mean, it would settle things down a little bit. You got to settle down.
Getting a vet in there. They don't have they have Deshaun, I guess.
But he blew it. That guy. Yeah. I mean, if he can't show that he's going to be a true QB, a difference, then it's over. Yeah. It's over. You wasted all that money. The owner's an idiot for signing him to that contract. He's an idiot for letting things go the way they did. I mean, what a promising career that guy had. He was one of the darlings of the entire National Football League when he was with the Texans.
He should have been excommunicated after all the allegations, and the Browns should never have been able to even pay him.
Yeah.
Roger Goodell should have just said, you're
not doing
banned
that.
for life.
Yeah.
And then the Browns would have saved all that money. But if they believe it's Shador Sanders, or obviously not Dylan Gabriel, but they did draft Dylan higher than they drafted Shedeur. It just doesn't seem like they like him at this point in time. But if you believe one of those young guys is your future, that's why you wouldn't get Flacco unless, to me, you think you can win now. And when you trade Myles Garrett away, I don't think you're sending the message to your roster, even though Jared Verse is good. But Jared Verse is not anywhere near Myles Garrett even here and now.
Yeah.
No.
And so that's why I just don't think they are trying to win now.
But they could still be a really good defense, and they got a good running game.
Yeah.
You know that
Their run game's good. That Casey Concepcion kid looked so good in the first preseason game, and there's a lot of talk about him. They got Denzel Boston, so Jerry Jeudy. So they have honestly a lot of weapons that, to me, they just don't have the quarterback. If you got a fine, decent quarterback, I think you'd win a decent amount of games, just because I think their defense will be good and they have enough weapons.
I mean, and that may be part of the frustration, knowing that, hey, we're not going to go get a QB. We're stuck with these guys, and we're probably not going to be very good this year. And maybe next year they'll give me a quarterback that I can have some say in obtaining.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I feel like every year's
they
a win
drafted
now.
Taylor Green, too.
Well,
That was
they
the guy
did that
you
at
liked.
Arkansas. Yeah, I liked him. All right.
Give
Throw
him
him
a-
out there.
Yeah,
Let's
give
do
him a
some
chance.
Heck yeah, why not?
All right, we've got lunch to give away from our friends at Chick-fil-A.
We do. Free lunch for 2 to Chick-fil-A. Give us a call at 641-1010. Let's say caller number 2. You get free lunch to Chick-fil-A. Like I said, make sure you get that peach milkshake, only here for a few more days, done this weekend, and then they move to that fall menu. So get it while it lasts, and it's a perfect pairing for a Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich or Chick-fil-A nuggets. So give us a call right now and you get some free lunch.
There you go. And the weather's definitely cooling off out there. Fall is, is in
right
the
around
air.
the corner.
Check that. All right, come back 10 to next on 2.5 FM.
Load the jump program.
Term XL.
1010XL. 1010XL.
Hi, folks. I'm Frank Frangie. I've called Jacksonville home my entire life. Well, so have Chad and Sandy. So when we sat down and started talking about neighborhoods that I grew up in, I knew instantly these two are the real deal because they knew it. You need to sell now? Chad and Sandy have instant offers, fast, easy, stress-free. Need max price? Their science-based Market Max system is a proven, repeatable system guaranteed to sell your home for the maximum price. Ask Eric and Jason. After losing their parents, the brothers were left with a family home in Villa San Jose, 196 days on the market with another agent, going nowhere. So they called Chad and Sandy, and their home sold for full asking price in less than 27 days. Chad and Sandy are the local agents you can trust to sell your home. So call Chad and Sandy today. You can call them at 904-414-6200 or go to chadandsandy.com. That's chadandsandy.com.
Now, the Florida Gator Report on 1010XL. Installed by Cash Building Material. Windows and doors done right.
The Gators ranked just outside the AP Pulse preseason top 25 at 27. CBS Sports believes although Florida wasn't ranked to start the year, they could still sneak their way into the college football playoff. Florida's challenge? Matching up against 4 top 10 ranked teams in conference play. But with challenges come opportunity, and head coach John Summerall and company have a golden opportunity to make a splash year one.
If you're getting estimates for replacement windows, do yourself a favor. Get one more. Prosser here. I did, and I was blown away. Cash Building Materials' local team is so experienced, and they know exactly what works for Jacksonville homes at a surprising price. You owe it to yourself to see what they can do before making a decision. Before you buy windows or doors, get a cash quote. Search Cash Building Material. Cash Building Material. Windows and doors done right.
Frank Frangie here. Nimnik Chevrolet is Northeast Florida's truck headquarters. And this month, save more than $15,000 on a new Silverado at Nimnik Chevrolet. 0% financing for 60 months is also available. And no payments for 90 days. With the largest selection of new Chevrolets in the region and the Nimnik best price guarantee, why would you buy anywhere else? Visit NimnikChevy.com or head to the dealership. Great inventory, great prices, and low interest rates. Who really takes care of you? Nobody but Nimnik. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
Take a radio boat ride with Captain Cabin on the Ring Power Fishing Forecast Show. Reeled in by the Pest Pros at Royal Pest Services and awaken 180 weight loss.
Thursday nights at 6
on 1010XL AM.
Like many football fans in Jacksonville, I love defense. I am attorney Lee Lockett, and I'm here to tell you that defense in the courtroom is important as well. That's because penalties for DUI are much more serious than penalties on the gridiron. If you or someone you know is facing a DUI, call us for a free case analysis now. Know before you blow 858-9818. Put my more than 20 years of experience to work for you. Office is Jacksonville, serving all surrounding counties. Call 858-9818 or go to knowbeforeyoublow.com.
Longer days, warmer nights, and a backyard that brings everyone together. Spring and summer in Florida means pool days, backyard barbecues, and night swims under the stars. Pick it here. For nearly 50 years, Surfside Pools has been creating the backdrops for life's best memories. From weekly service and repairs to remodels, commercial maintenance, and new pool construction, Surfside does it all. Ready to float happy? SurfsidePools.net or call 904-246-2666. Surfside Pools. Summer starts here. License number CPC 044080.
This is it. The legendary live band, Fish, returns to the road this October. Fish, Friday, October 9th, Five-Star Veterans Memorial Arena. On sale now at Ticketmaster.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch.
The woman was the dream I had, though rather hard to keep. For when my eyes were watching hers, they closed, and I was still asleep.
One more chance for you to win tickets happens right here, right now. This is Tweezer Reprise by Fish. They are coming into our city October 9th. That is a Friday at Vistar Veterans Memorial Arena. Your final chance to go for free happens right here, right now. Call number 1-641-1010. Call number 1. I'm rewarding the fastest dial. Yes. You had to know it was coming. So you are going to go see Fish for free. But remember, if you don't win the
they
tickets,
knew it was coming.
That's right. You can buy them at Ticketmaster.com. And once again, that concert comes up Friday, October 9th at Vistar Veterans Memorial Arena. Good stuff there. All right, time now for Lauren's Lane.
Now, Lauren's Lane. Opened up by Closets by Design. Imagine your home totally organized.
Only one thing in Lauren's Lane today that I found interesting. And I told y'all the other day that Florida volleyball, we went down to Gainesville on Sunday, saw the Gator Greats versus the current team, or at least sort of kind of saw that since some of the current team players played with the Gator Greats. But I saw that Florida was ranked 17th in the country. I thought, okay, that's pretty good.
Yeah,
and the team that we saw, certainly there are some really heavy hitters on that team. And so then I wondered, well, what is Nebraska ranked? Since Florida has to play Nebraska at AT&T Stadium.
Yeah, they're really good.
They are, and I know they're really good.
Yeah.
It's always like a Nebraska, a Penn State. There's a few other teams too. But yeah, that would be Nebraska that Florida has to play this month. So
Yeah.
good luck to 17th ranked Florida.
I want to say last year Nebraska had it was like 80,000. Was it an outdoor?
Yeah, it was crazy, like in a stadium,
It
right?
was
Yeah,
at
it was
their
like in a
stadium,
stadium.
Cornhusker Stadium, and they
but it was
set
like-
the record for people.
Yeah, I remember seeing
attending
pictures of
volleyball.
that.
Yes.
That's why I was like, when Florida plays Nebraska
they're
at Jerry's
serious.
World, it's going to be way more Nebraska fans than Florida fans.
Yeah, you
So-
go ahead.
Oh, yeah, that's what I was about to say because you were mentioning the stadium. And when you said that yesterday, I think it was yesterday, I was like, man, I feel like when you're high up in a stadium, I'm not sure how good you're seeing each of the sets in volleyball.
How high did the ball actually go? I can't tell. Did it go over the net?
It's like when you see the clips of people and they're like way, like deep in the outfield at a baseball field. Like, that was a ball ump. And they're like so far.
I know. Really, the only people that can tell are the ones directly
Right
behind
behind.
home plate, but
Yeah.
whatever. I let them have their fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that game comes up. I think it's August 28th, as a matter of fact. So it'll be.
You ever seen
it'll be
corn-fed volleyball girls jump? They jump really high. Like corn-fed football players. Just strong.
I couldn't remember if Nebraska won last year, but I believe it was. You know what? Texas A&M won the beach volleyball. I'm not sure who won the indoor volleyball.
I watched one of their games. So 'cause
Nebraska beach volleyball.
They had a big game on ESPN. It was amazing just how athletic those ladies
it's
are.
insane. Yeah. Like I said, when you see it in person,
Jumping
it's
to the
absolutely
moon.
insane.
And tall. Really tall girls.
Oh yeah, you're talking. The liberos can be shorter, obviously,
Yeah, right.
because they're much more
Yep.
defensive players. But the actual ones that are on the
front line.
Front line are probably like 6'5" and above.
Yeah.
I could pull up a roster. Okay, so Texas A&M, it was, I believe, indoor. I can't tell if it's men's or women's, whatever.
Yeah.
But either way, I'm going to go through the top 25 of your rankings, or at least the top 10. When it comes to this year's volleyball, like I said, Nebraska comes in at number 1, and then Texas comes in at number 2. Well, Nebraska and Texas. Texas, I guess, is just good at everything.
They get money.
Money.
The girls get money. They
Oh,
I bet
absolutely.
some have got to be
Yes,
getting
they
some
get money because Florida lost a couple players to Penn State.
Yeah.
Two of my dad's
they're
like,
getting
favorite
paid.
ones.
Well, there's the pay for play, which is spread between all of the sports, and then
Okay,
so
right.
I'm
Plus
sure,
NIL.
and then the ones that get NIL money. So Texas,
Yeah, so Kentucky comes in at number
Take the money
3,
and run.
Pitt number 4, Stanford 5, Wisconsin 6, Louisville 7, Texas A&M 8, Purdue 9, Penn State 10. So actually a little low, honestly, I feel like, for Penn State. And then Indiana 16, that's one spot ahead of Florida. And then Tennessee 22nd, as far as another SEC team. Colorado 23rd. Kind of surprising with that too.
That's interesting. A grouping of schools that are at the top. There's like no South.
Do men
There's no
play?
South.
I mean, I know men play, but do they play in college?
Yes.
Do
I
all
think they-
teams?
not
Does Florida
all.
have a?
No, Florida
no.
doesn't have a men's volleyball team. They don't have a
They
men's
lost
soccer
that to
team.
Title IX.
I don't know if they lost it. I don't think they ever had
BC's
it.
men's lacrosse, they went away because of Title
Gotcha.
IX.
Yeah.
They
Like
had to
Florida
drop them
has
for it.
women's lacrosse that's an actual D1 sport, but they don't have men's lacrosse that's a D1 sport. They have women's soccer, not men's soccer, and things
Yeah.
like that.
I wouldn't want to take a volleyball to the face. I know that up on the net. You
They
know
don't
what I mean?
normally take it to the face
Yeah.
because obviously their hands are there to blocking, but sometimes definitely like more shoulder.
I saw that movie, Meet the Fockers. They take it to the face. That poor
Yes,
girl
whatever
didn't see
happens
it
in the
coming.
movie is true.
That's
So I'm looking at Nebraska's volleyball roster, and their tallest is 6'5".
Yeah.
So they're all the
Reading.
main ones are like 6'2", 6'3", 6'4".
That's how we keep getting taller as a society because she's going to marry a 7'2",
yeah.
and they're going to have babies that end up being like 8 feet tall.
So it says there's 23 NCAA Division I college that have men's volleyball.
Okay.
School UCLA, Hawaii, BYU, Ohio State, Penn State, Brigham Young, so USC, Stanford, all those guys do.
How about water
A lot of
polo?
West
That probably went away too, didn't it?
I don't know.
I had friends at BC play. Well, that's a tough ass sport, man. Are you kidding
Oh,
me?
I would
That-
not want to.
incredibly
I'd be so
difficult.
yeah.
Tread water than them trying to drown you half the time.
I know.
You know what I mean? Like
Absolutely.
that's a brutal sport.
And you don't stop. Like you're constantly having to swim while people are drowning you while you're worrying about a. No,
Right.
every time I watch that one, like
Yeah.
I want to say one of the Olympics,
the
and I'm just
yeah,
like,
yeah, it was
that
in
sounds
the Olympics,
terrible.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that does sound hard. All right, NFL around the league. Jaden Higgins, the Texans wide receiver,
Yeah.
suffered a
Sucks for
torn ACL
Shame.
yesterday during the joint practice against the Raiders. So Tank Dell, it seems like, is coming along well for them, which is good news, but you hate to see a young player
I
tear.
just thought, just right when you said that, could there be a test to test the ligaments in your knees? You know what I mean?
as
Like,
to whether they're going to tear.
yeah, or is there anything you can, you know what I mean? Like, it just seems like it's so easy to tear your knee when it's simple cutting. It's just that, that torque of that speed and velocity, then, trying to cut or your
Well, like with
leg gets
pitchers,
tangled or
we
something.
see so many get the Tommy John surgery, which Tommy John,
Yeah.
actually, the pitcher, just passed away.
Yeah, I
this
saw
weekend.
that. Yeah.
But so we kind of know it's coming with that, right? Like once you pitch a certain mile per hour, as many times as they do, at some point in your career, you're most likely going to have that, that surgery. For NFL players, you would think that, honestly, to your point, Tom, it would be more like there would be a higher percentage of guys that would tear their ACLs, like just because it is non-contact sometimes.
Yeah,
A lot of times it's non-contact. Yeah. It's just wild. And the LCL's gotten, more popular.
Yeah.
The ACL, the MCL, the guy,
MCL,
the
PCL.
Charger out in the center, he
Yeah.
tore his MCL, so they're going to have to probably reattach that. But yeah, it just seems, man, that those are the frustrating. You understand collision injuries.
Right.
I do. The non-contact is like, come on. Like, what made it tear?
Yeah.
Am I too heavy? Did it? Am I? Now granted, like Edoga, he's just getting run up on, so I don't know how what happens there. Do you twist it? Do you turn it, or does it just rip because it gets hyperextended? I have no idea. I've never been in that situation, but just to cut and go down, and man, it's just like what? Why does it never happen to one guy?
Right.
and then it happens to other people.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
Or some multiple.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Both knees,
multiple,
same
yeah.
knee.
Right.
It's got to be the way you're built or the
I'm sure
way
an
things
orthopedic
are.
surgeon would be able to explain a little bit better to us
Yeah.
as far as like, is there something where you have any idea that someone's going to have that happen to
Or they're more susceptible
Right.
to it. I don't know, maybe more a little bow-legged as opposed to not, or how you're shaped. I don't know. It just
Could it
seems-
be diet? Like, is what goes
Maybe.
into it? That I have no
Maybe,
idea.
yeah.
The Giants are adding Najee Harris to
Yeah.
their room, and the corresponding move, they had to release veteran wide receiver Juju Smith-Schuster.
Saw that.
And then Saints 5-time Pro Bowl running back Alvin Kamara expected to miss at least a month with a sprained MCL in
MCL, right.
Tuesday's joint practice with the Cowboys. So,
Yep.
Travis
That
Etienne,
hurts.
it is your opportunity.
Yep.
Well,
Yeah,
they're-
Kamara and Jordan Tyson both got hurt
Yeah.
recently, so that's
Yeah.
not good for them offensively. But yeah, you got a shot. You brought ETN you're paying him. So
Yeah, he's
here's
the
your
guy.
shot.
And hopefully he won at least 3 of those 6 fights in camp today against the Cowboys.
Yeah, I
If they're
kept
the
seeing
Saints.
another fight, another fight,
Yeah,
another
they
fight.
had a
I thought that was
bunch.
crazy. Yeah, in case you missed it earlier, there were some scuffles, skirmishes, however you want to determine
Yeah.
them, between the joint practice with the Jags and the Panthers. But overall, and Liam talked about it too, he's like, well, yeah, you can't take any crap. He just didn't say the word crap.
Yeah.
But I appreciate that. It is football. It is really warm out there, obviously super humid. But I would say that there has to be that level of intensity, right? Like if there's no skirmishes, then I feel like the guys are a little bit too lax.
Well, the first one, I'm not, was it Morig that decked one of our receivers?
Tim Jones.
Okay,
There was-
so
yeah.
and then we saw in the other field they tackle into the ground, right? So you didn't see that all throughout practice. So
Correct.
there's are we full speed? We
Right.
not? And then you hit me full speed, and I'm thinking you're not. And then I'm like, what the heck? What do you hit me for?
Yep.
Like that?
Yeah.
I don't know. That's how
Well,
those things start.
you'll see a little extra contact, and then whether it's receiver or DB kind of shoves because they're like, "Why are you on me that hard?" And then
Yeah.
that's when you see those kind
Yeah.
of like spiral a little bit. But yeah, it wasn't like we were seeing punches getting thrown.
No.
It was just
No,
one of
we
those
don't want that.
situations where you're protecting your guy. And Liam
Yeah.
spoke on that today too. That balance of you don't want fights, but you want to know you have each other's back type of situation.
Yeah, I don't mind a little skirmish as long as nobody gets hurt because it just gets it going a little bit more. It gets you a little bit more fired up, a little more juice, a little more energetic, and gets you closer to that game type feeling.
I was worried, like you said, I was near the offensive line, defensive line when punt was going on.
Yep.
And you could just hear at one point in time, the Panthers, their coaches and players after one of the punts was just fired up.
Yep.
And I was like, I wonder if they're going to be more intense. And again, trying to watch O-line,
Yep.
D-line too. But I was like, that's not good because we know the Jags maybe were a little slow against the Saints, but the Jags were fine.
Let me tell you something. If you want to watch a really hard position, you girls already know this in football, but especially NFL, 2-on-1 against the gunner and punt team is unbelievable. For that guy to even get past those two guys at any game is unreal. And that's what they were doing initially. Carolina was working our guys really good. They couldn't get off the line. Even if they did, they were swarming them. They couldn't get to the punt return. I mean, look, it's got to be one of the hardest jobs, one-on-one, to go against two guys who are just as athletic, just as strong, can move just as well. And you just got to find a way to crease and get inside, whatever. But, man, that's why they were getting fired up. But let me tell you something. Our D-line worked their O-line in that one-on-one. I mean, they worked them really, especially the outside guys. They were having their field day on their offensive line. Now, it's just one-on-one, so you don't get too concerned about it. But we did start off really strong in that regard.
From the text line, Design My Lifetime Enclosures, 904-641-1010. I read about this not too long ago that Johns Hopkins University, so certainly one of the
I
best
know
medical
Johns Hopkins.
ones,
Of course.
is working on a Teflon-infused leg sleeve that has been tested to reduce ligament tears by around 50%. It was just in the test phases when he read about it, maybe a little still too bulky, but maybe something like that could reduce future ACL tears or knee tears in general.
The ACL, and I'm not a doctor, but I tore my ACL, so you learn a lot about it. It's so in the middle that I don't know all the support on the outside can really prevent it from going. You know what I mean? Because the torque is it's like the concussion thing. You can have all this protection on your head, but the brain's still going to hit the inside of your skull. I don't know how you stop that ever. Even if like you hit the ground, what happens? It's not that. It's like your brain's whacking your skull, and then your brain's like, out of it. So kind of the same. I don't know how you prevent. I could see like the MCLs, like that's on the inside. The LCLs kind of on the outside. So maybe keeping those nice and tight. They can't go anywhere. But the one in the middle, the LCL in the back, I I don't know how they do that. But again, I only play a doctor on radio, not in real life.
And I'm not sure you do that either.
No,
We'll have flags one day, so we don't have to.
Exactly. I keep saying it's coming.
Yeah.
All right, more to do on the other side, including the golden moment. It's Helmets and Heels, 1010XL, 92.5 FM.
Every game is a story.
And the game is tied.
Every play is a moment waiting to happen.
We're going to overtime.
Your home for the most play-by-play is 1010XL.
Hello, First Coast. I'm sure by now you have seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We're an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We're committed to customer service, reliability, and have an unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today. From GFL, Green for Life.
Hey guys, Taylor Dahl here of Helmets and Heels. Are you looking for a remix on the original Chick-fil-A sandwich? The Honey Pepper Pimento Chicken Sandwich is back this summer only. It's a flavorful spin on a familiar favorite created with Chick-fil-A chicken, a drizzle of honey, pickled jalapenos, and a spread of savory pimento cheese. The sandwich combines your favorite flavors with a new twist, but it's your last chance to try, so stop by and enjoy the Honey Pepper Pimento Chicken Sandwich at Chick-fil-A today.
Hey, Hicken here. Summer air should feel fresh, not full of dust, allergens, and whatever Florida critter has been crawling around your ducts this year. Sounds gross, right? Well, it is. And your air ducts are the lungs of your home. If they're dirty, you're breathing that every day. That's where Zero Res comes in. Guys, just because you can't see in there doesn't mean you can avoid it. This month only, take $100 off air duct cleaning. That's cleaner air, better efficiency, and a fresher home guaranteed. Call 287-5727 or visit ZeroResJacksonville.com and ask for the 1010XL special.
After attending a Saturday Bumps and Bruises clinic by Southeast orthopedic specialist, my son's hip and shoulder issues were diagnosed quickly, and he's back playing. As a busy family, we really appreciate their prompt attention.
I've been having knee problems for probably 6 months, and I had heard about Southeast Orthopedics on the radio, and I gave them a call. They got me right in. Dr. Kevin Murphy did it. It was painless, and it's been doing fantastic.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
In this age of globalization, we've learned that bigger isn't always better. Ever tried to get phone help from a big corporation? From a real person? Good luck. That is what's so nice about Mike Merritt's Heating and Air. Unlike publicly traded conglomerates with headquarters in faraway cities, Mike Merritt's Heating and Air remains family-owned and operated by Mike, your neighbor. Mike Merritt has delivered hometown service, integrity, and pricing for generations. The big guys incentivize their techs to sell you new equipment. Mike's team emphasizes repair first. We only sell you equipment if your current equipment is worn out and beyond repair. And let's be honest about price. Small operations without much overhead can sometimes lowball your job, but you can't trust just anyone with a truck. They may be here today and gone tomorrow. Mike Merritt has been keeping North Florida cool for more than 3 decades. That's experience and dedication you can count on. Call today or see us on the web.
Florida license number CAC 050384.
Brian and Angela Wall here with Window World. Hurricanes happen in Florida. That's not news. But what happens even more often than hurricanes are home break-ins. And if security is important to you, you might want to look into hurricane-rated impact windows.
What you may not know is that hurricane-rated impact windows not only help protect your home in case of a hurricane, but they also offer another level of security for your home.
Have you seen those videos on YouTube that show people trying to break through an impact window? A thief is way too lazy to spend his energy trying to break through one of our impact windows. That's why he doesn't have a real job like you. He'd rather break your non-impact window while you're at work. Window World has high-quality, very affordable hurricane-rated impact windows to help protect your home from hurricanes and from lazy thieves.
Call us today at 904-443-7001. Get a free estimate and see for yourself. You save energy, get more security, and the windows add value to your home. With all Window World windows, you get the best guarantee in the window replacement business.
Window World,
simply the best for less.
And thank you for your business.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah. Now, the Monaghan's golden moment. Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach, your local family jewelers.
Golden moment for today was joint practice. So it was a fun time. I felt like from the beginning, we were like, oh, this is fun. There was so much going on. There was so much energy from both teams. It was cool to see Steve Smith was out there, which was really cool to kind of see some of those guys walking around. So we get to see the Jags, and there's so many of them that I love. It's cool to sometimes see those other teams like a Ted McMillan out there and Tiny Bryce Young. You told it. I honestly, at sometimes, there was a couple times where I'm like, it looks like a child standing behind the offensive line. Granted, the offensive linemen are huge men, but there was a few moments where I'm like, he can't see. He can't see
Eric
over this line.
Armstead get near Bryce Young.
I'm like, whew.
That's
But one of the things that Liam Coen spoke on today, which was caught my attention for a second, because he mentioned that in both the joint practices so far, the Saints and then now with the Panthers today, one of the things that he would like to see more of that he hasn't in those two joint practices is a defense taking the ball away. We've seen obviously a pick today from our offense. There were multiple in the joint against the Saints, and then so it doesn't sound like our defense has gotten those takeaways from the opposing teams when it comes to these joint practices, like he would like to say, and I'll say turnovers because he used the word turnover, not just, he said takeaways. And so that was interesting because that was kind of what this defense was last year, was a lot of takeaways, and it kept them in games and certain moments. And so we've had the conversation so much this offseason of, you expect that to go down. It's hard to fully replicate the amount of takeaways that they had this last year, but we all expected still, because of the way that Coach Camp, says the way he coaches to find the ball, surround the ball, take ball. Like
God
that's just kind of
those who run to the football. By the
way,
way, happy belated birthday to Anthony.
Oh yeah,
yesterday was his birthday, so happy birthday to him.
So with that, you still expect a good amount. You maybe were like, okay, well, you're not going to get 30 takeaways this year, but you would expect, like 20s, mid 20s, just because of the way that Coach Camp has coached this team in that sense. And we've seen him in practice without the joint practices, but that was just something Liam Coen specifically mentioned today that he would like to see more of. So it'll be interesting if you see a little bit of emphasis on that for the rest of the camp.
Yeah, no, I mean, look, they need to show that they can handle all that. I thought today they did a really good job offensively and defensively. I thought the red zone, they're going to be dangerous in the red zone. That one play, they've done it all camp. Now they're going to have to come up with a little nuance to it because teams are going to pick up on it, where it's a fake handoff and a quick turn right away to that quick slant. It was beautiful again today, the passing in the red zone area. So, yeah, I mean, look, I think.
And no Parker Washington also. I wanted to mention that, obviously. So, you needed other guys to step up. Brian Thomas Jr. certainly with a one-handed catch today did. Austin Trammell did once again. Jacoby Myers is so reliable.
Tight ends had some good grabs.
I love seeing the tight ends get involved. Yeah. And we haven't seen a ton of the passes out of the backfield to the running backs like we did see a lot last year.
Yeah, and look, as far as most takeaways, unless your quarterback makes a mistake, right? You don't see the guy. They're from pressure.
Yeah.
And in like even when you're like you saw today, like Bryce Young, like he'd get pressured, he'd roll out. He'd throw a pass. It might be a touchdown or a complete, but you don't know if they would have gotten him there. And then if you do have a chance to get him, is he throwing the ball errantly? And that's when, you get those. And think about last year. Remember, they started off with a bang. Well, we were getting after the quarterback a ton. And then that kind of faded a bit. And then our takeaways kind of faded a bit. And then at the end, we started getting towards the quarterback. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just how they go. Because think about, maybe with young QBs, how many are you going to confuse without pressure?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't know if you're going to they get confused when the pressure starts coming, the clock's ticking,
right?
And I got to get the ball out, and now you're confusing me, and they're hitting the crap out of me, and I'm worried about getting it. That's when you're in their head and they're freaking out. So, I think we'll see more of those as we get into the games, I would imagine, because I think one thing they've shown, they're dedicated. They know how important it is to better their pass rush.
Yeah.
They have to find those pass rushers so they can call them out, what they used to call them, NASCAR, whatever that package was, just we got to get our NASCAR or whatever it is. Yeah. This is our pass rush group. These are our guys. Go out there and get that QB.
And I think, look, we've talked about the pass rush. I'm excited about the depth there. Like, I don't think it's just Josh Hines Allen and Trayvon Walker and no one else can get to the quarterback.
No,
but
I
then
agree.
again, last year I thought some guys like Ogba and Smoot would get to the quarterback more than they did. By the way, Travis Hunter played 28 snaps today in the team periods. He only played 2 as a wide receiver. So he was out there a ton, obviously, as a cornerback. Yeah. And I think it's also fun to hear the jawing back and forth between the players, like at the end of that, like 2 minutes, so basically the end of practice. I could vividly hear or easily hear guys like Trayvon Walker and some other guys totally talking to the Panthers side.
Yeah.
It's also a little funny because I feel like we've seen the switch of Travis Hunter just straight up in the middle of you know in the middle of plays almost. You're like, okay, switch your jersey. But it is kind of funny. It's like your joint practice and then all of it. It's like Liam messes with people sometimes. Like he's because it's like, oh, he's not going to play offense. He's only going to be play defense. They did this, and then all we heard for it, like we were like, whoa, he's playing a lot of offense to start this training camp, and then somebody else comes into town. And he's like, we're just going to play defense, so you don't see him on offense.
And it's harder to this type of practice because there's 2 different fields. And by the way, I got it wrong. 28 snaps on defense, 2 on offense.
Okay.
Thank you, Mike Duraco, of ESPN, for always tracking that.
And keep the field goals to
Cam kicked the field goals.
Travis tried.
20%'s not good.
No.
1 out of 5.
But the fans enjoyed it.
Yeah.
The fans enjoyed the dancing after. They hear us
Better
talk
than
about it.
the car wheels, from years past.
No cartwheels
No
were
cartwheels.
had today, that's for sure. All right, one segment to go. You are listening to Helmets and Heels, 1010XL, 92.5 FM.
Hi, folks. I'm Frank Frangie. I'm Jacksonville born and raised. I've lived here my whole life, so I don't hand out trust easily. But for the first time, I sat down with Chad and Sandy. Look, these are our people. You need to sell your house? Chad and Sandy have instant offers. Fast, easy, stress-free. You need a max price? Their science-based Market Max system is a proven, repeatable system guaranteed to sell your home for a maximum price. Ask Maureen. Her home on Pace Island in Fleming Island sat 158 days with another agent. Nothing. So she called Chad and Sandy, had showings day 1, and by day 2, sold for her full asking price, $449,000. Chad and Sandy are the local experts. I trust them, and I would recommend them if I was selling my home. Using their proprietary Market Max system, Chad and Sandy guarantee your home sold at an agreed-on price or deadline, or they'll buy it. So call Chad and Sandy, the only agents I would trust if I was selling my home, 904-414-6200, or go to chadandsandy.com.
Live streaming from the XL Digital Studios. Brightened by Harbor Dental Care, Jacksonville's first choice for dental emergencies.
Hey, Tom McManus here for the Armstrong Fence Company, a locally owned First Coast business for nearly 20 years. Hurricane season is here, so don't wait for that first storm warning. Your fence is your first line of defense. Loose boards, weak posts, or damage can turn into big problems in those high winds. Armstrong Fence Company, they handle repairs and build from stadiums to your own backyard. Get a pre-storm fence check today. Call Armstrong Fence Company or search them online. Armstrong Fence Company, yeah, we did the fence.
Looking for something different this weekend? Experience the 23rd Annual Jacksonville Tattoo Convention. Meet hundreds of talented tattoo artists, discover one-of-a-kind vendors and artisans, and explore the collector's alley packed with Pokemon, trading cards, sports memorabilia, comics, toys, collectibles. Bring the whole family, enjoy free parking, and take in a beautiful venue. Renaissance Resort at World Golf Village. Tickets are available at the door. For event details, schedules, and everything you need to know, visit setattoo.com.
Whether you're wearing teal and black or orange and blue, there's one thing we can all agree on this football season. Jets Pizza. Fresh dough made daily, wall-to-wall cheese, and crispy edges make every bite a game day favorite. Whether it's football Saturday or football Sunday, feed the family, the crew, or the whole team with Jets Pizza. Order online or call any of the 4 Jacksonville area Jets Pizza locations today.
DivorceMenOnly.com. This is Kenny Lay of Kenny Lay & Associates. Our firm specializes in representing men in family law. That's all we do. That's our only focus. We can help with all of your family law needs, such as divorce, custody, alimony, and child support. For over a decade, we have helped thousands of men with these types of issues. We even have an appellate division ready to challenge a judge's ruling. If you need a family law attorney, go to DivorceMenOnly.com. DivorceMenOnly.com. Offices, Jacksonville.
SportsForecaster.com has all the data you need to project tomorrow's winners. Register for free and track the performance of all your favorite players and teams, including all your fantasy team picks and prospects. Sports Forecaster has the most detailed player profiles on the web, precise depth charts, every transaction, every injury, every news update. No ranting or raving, no preening or barstool bluster. At SportsForecaster.com, you get the timely info you need for every game. SportsForecaster.com. Sign up for free today.
Credit card interest rates are now over 29%. Most people are only making the minimum payments, so they're getting nowhere. Hey, Prosser here, but here's what many homeowners don't realize. Using the equity in your home, you can easily access hundreds of thousands in cash. With Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan, you can pay off your credit card, your existing HELOC, your car loans, or get money for that home improvement project. One client just got $100,000 approved and saved over $1,500 a month. Here's the best part. With Loan Pronto, you can do it all from your phone. With zero out-of-pocket, no hard credit pull up front, no appraisal, no long drawn-out bank process, and no touching your first mortgage. Rates are at a near 3-year low. Act now. Go to loanpronto.com. See how much you can get in about 60 seconds. Loan Pronto, 2,800 5-star Google reviews. Call 904-999-1508 or go to loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch.
Well, the Jaguars did make it official when it comes to acquiring offensive lineman Daniel Faalele. That's how it's pronounced. Faalele. I have Faalala stuck in my
I was saying I messed you up. Sorry.
All good. No, you were good. They did acquire him from the Giants in exchange for a 6th-round selection for the 2027 draft, and they waived the offensive lineman that they literally just brought here in Timothy McKay. So I feel for you, Timothy. And I did see Ryan O'Halloran reported also that the Jaguars will get an additional 6th-round pick in next year's draft thanks to Greg Newsome going to the Giants.
Okay.
So basically, it's kind of, in my head, basically a wash.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know. He's a big dude. He'll play guard. Try to anyway.
He'll try.
You know,
guard or
I mean, you don't trade him to be a camp body. That's for sure. Not to say he's going to be a starter, but why give up a draft pick just to have someone in a camp?
Right.
You know what I mean? Although it's a 7th or 6th rounder, so
yeah, it's late.
But that's why you keep those, I guess. You know, so you have to make these kind of moves. You know, to help your roster out.
And they have the comp picks next year.
Next year, yeah, 3 of them, right? Yeah.
They're going to be busy, that's for sure. Yeah. Do you think that, so also speaking of O'Halloran, he said his theory is that Liam Coen said earlier this week that he was trending towards the starters playing.
Right.
Said that on Monday. Ryan thinks that he was saying that because he wanted his players, he wasn't thrilled with the joint practice against the Saints, and he wanted his starters to pick it up a little bit and expects more out of them. So that's why kind of using the media to say, I'm trending towards the starters playing.
Because then the starters are like, well, we're not doing good enough if he wants us to play.
Exactly.
Well,
and so
at least here.
Yeah. And then had a much better practice today against the Panthers and reportedly against the Saints. And so now maybe not playing Friday night.
Yeah, I mean, Travis came out and said he let us have it. You know, we didn't play the way they expected us to play. You know, the slow start. That probably ticked off all of them, from Liam on down, you know.
And it's tricky because, in this practice, obviously the joint practice, the starters are playing. But if you're talking about the game on Friday night, then it's like, I didn't even have a chance to get out there.
Yeah. But even the second team, like that old line, you got to, I know you're talking about your starters, but you want them to follow too. Like, we need more out of you as well. As we all know, the floor is supposed to be a lot better.
Yeah, for sure.
With all the injury guys, if the bottom of the floor moves up, that doesn't mean the floor is better when the injury guys are out. So, got to get them healthy ASAP. I would still, I'd still play him a little bit.
Yeah, I want to too.
I just think they need a little more work together. I love the feistiness today. I love the aggressiveness. I thought the run game did look good. Like you said earlier, once Tootin hits the open field, forget about it. Nobody's catching him. Although we had a couple rookies on our team catch him during camp, but nobody caught him today. He outran everybody. Oof. But I'd like to see more of that. I'd like to see the O-line together, and I don't want to see him a lot. I want to see him go, and only let me caveat this: only if their starters are playing. I don't care what they do against the second team.
You put the first against their backups, you're not getting much out of that. And that's what Coen today said when they asked about it. He kind of said, I want to say somebody specifically asked about Trevor, because then he was like, it just depends who's out there and around him.
Yeah.
So it almost felt like he doesn't want to put some of those starters out there if the offensive line's not healthy, or if, certain other things in that, or maybe defensively, if you're missing a couple guys from injury, do you want to risk, the other starters being out there and you're not even playing with the guys you'll be playing with anyways? And so it kind of seemed like if he doesn't have some, the offensive line or some of those pieces back healthy, that he doesn't want to take that risk, which we say that, but for him to say that shows that he also wants to kind of protect Trevor and the offense.
And if their starting D line's going to play, or they're starting, you don't want them. You don't want to go up against a banged up old line.
And if anyone, it didn't seem or appear, other than Tim Jones went down a little bit after that, before that one scuffle kind of thing, but it didn't appear to me that there were any major injuries out there today, Jaguars or Panthers, which is great. But you don't know, did any of the offensive linemen end up walking away with something? And
like a ding or whatever.
Yeah, just something.
Limping a little or something.
Yeah, so it just adds to the fact that, they've already been a banged up unit, that's for sure. All right, let's say hello to the Frangie Show.
Now, the 2-minute drill is driven by nobody but Nimnicht. Nimnicht Chevrolet on Cassett Avenue and Nimnicht Buick GMC on Phillips Highway.
Hayes, poor Timothy McKay already waved, has barely been in Jacksonville, but
what
Daniel,
a run.
Never forget.
I mean, I'm glad he retired a Jaguar.
I just learned his number, 68, okay?
Yeah.
It's like the Simpsons gif where he walks in and then puts his hat and right back.
Yeah.
Exactly. But he'll make room for Daniel Faalele, so that'll be interesting. What did you make of the joint practice today?
Yeah, I thought it was good. I thought, it seemed like from Liam and Trevor that it was a better day for them than it was in New Orleans last week. So that was good. But I thought the Jaguars I don't think it was lopsided, but I thought the Jaguars, from what I watched more of the Jaguar defense, and I thought they had the better day. But it was good work, and luckily it doesn't seem like any other injuries of significance, which is good because they obviously need to, stay healthy. And so, I thought a good day. So we'll talk about that all coming up on the Frangie Show. I had a chance to catch up with corner Buster Brown, so we'll play that. And Brett Hastings will join us for Sports and Courts.
Buster Brown, I feel like, has had a kind of a quiet camp, maybe because we've focused so much on Travis Hunter playing corner and Jabbar Muhammad making all those plays and stuff, but I'm sure he's playing well, just not noticing him as much. Yeah, and Jared, we talked about.
Yeah. I think early on in camp, Buster was around the ball a lot. I still think there hasn't been much that he's given up that I've seen.
Right.
But what a story. 7th round pick in 2022. And now he's playing on a second contract here that's, fairly lucrative. And so, great success story. He's beaten the odds and turns 27 later this month. So just hitting the prime of his career.
Trembalki does it.
That's right. Don't count him out.
Right.
I feel like they should let you and the players go indoors for these.
I'd be all for that. And I know they would be as well.
I was listening to your Robert Hainsey, and I was like,
I know Hainsey seemed like
Hainsey was a total pro. We had to actually stop the interview.
Yeah.
And he was like, I need a minute. And I was like, we can just be done. He was like, no, give me a minute, and we'll the question you asked me, we'll finish with that. And I was like, all right. But it's the heat is crazy, as we all know. But imagine out there playing with a helmet and pads on and going up
just
against.
Imagine.
Yeah,
just imagine.
Yeah.
Can't believe it.
Twice a day. Twice a day.
Yeah.
All right, thanks, Hayes.
All right, thank you.
All right, I heard Joe C. interviewed Jonah Monheim, and Jonah's from California, right? And he's like, so, what's the difference between the East Coast and the West Coast? And he's like, humidity.
Yeah.
Humidity.
I mean, it's serious.
If you've been to California, know your hair, including yours, Tom, your hair is not frizzy in California the way it's frizzy in Florida and the East Coast.
My hair don't get frizzy, but I know what you mean because the girls.
My hair does.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember going to California. The first time I went, I was a baby the first time, but then I was a teenager, and then I went as an adult. And that's the first time that I really cared about my hair. And I was like, this is unbelievable. It was like September. Oh, it was glorious.
Yeah.
All right. Reminder to everybody, we will be at the Jacksonville Tattoo Convention on Friday from 2 to 4:30. And then Jaguars programming will take over. So come say hello to us on Friday, 2 to 4:30 at the Jacksonville Tattoo Convention. For Taylor Dahl, Tom McManus, RJ Saunders, I'm Lauren Brooks. These heels are made for talking. We will talk to you on Friday, but don't go anywhere. The Frangie Show is next.
Yeah.